Nerdrotic.com.
And ads from heel versus babyface. Those lovely ladies. I could have hit him in the balls.
Yeah. He ain't got any though.
Who shall not pass? Harry Chan is a legend. Absolute legend. Thank you, fake audience, and welcome, real audience, to a very special R.I.P. Doctor Who broadcast with my good friend Az from Heel versus Babyface. Hi. Jodie is maybe gone at this point. And when I first heard the news, Az, I was like, it's in the rumor stage, made a video, and I'm like, I've already done a video on this. Like, I did talk about this 9 months ago, but I don't want to flex or anything like that.
No.
So
we all did.
Yeah, we did. And now it's getting picked up. It got picked up by Radio Times. It got picked up by a lot of sources here. It even got mentioned on the Beeb itself. That was somebody threw me a screenshot, and on the BBC Morning News, they brought it up. Unless somebody photoshopped it, that was pretty good. Speaking of creativity, we will talk about the cease and desist letter I received. Just hilarious. It's hilarious. Hi, everyone.
From lawyers at google.com.
Yeah.
Lawyers at gmail.com.
Right. So Jodie Whittaker has supposedly quit Doctor Who. It's all hush hush right now. The BBC did not confirm nor deny, which is, I think, big news because they denied it last time. And the last time, this was when Starburst, this was after series 11 premiered. Starburst had magazine had run with that she was quitting after series 12, and they denied that. Now there is no denial at all. And listen, common sense would dictate the show is cratered. It's hit rock bottom. It's the ratings aren't going up. Yes, there was an uptick to the Timeless Children, but that was because John Barrowman was there, and that didn't even help at all. There's no other way to go. And unfortunately, it's too late at this point. What do you think, Az?
Well, I mean, that wee little uptick midway through season 12, 11.
Yep.
We were talking a couple of 100,000. That was it. And by time the Timeless Children had arrived, lowest rating of the season, lowest Doctor Who rating in 36 years or whatever it was, fourth lowest of all time or whatever it was. It was, and with this festive special, barely, I mean, on the overnights alone, nearly 500,000, 500,000 people less than last time with their Dalek special. And so you think, God, but you put a series out, and that series is hitting easily low 3 point somethings, possibly high 2.8s, 9s on the overnights, pre-consolidated. Off those figures, there is no interest. Funnily enough, what there is interest in is Jodie leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been putting out our Jodie. I watched the Ewan Doomcock yesterday, the Doctor Who part, because I didn't want the Cobra Kai one ruined, because I knew I was going to start watching it, and I don't watch The Expanse at the moment. But I watched the Doctor Who part. You know, a lot of people interested hearing that. I put out a video yesterday, Jodie quits, 100,000 views. You know, normally I'm doing 30, 40 tops. So, there's an interest in her going. No interest in her staying. No interest in watching her. Big interest in her going. And good riddance.
And, as I stated last night, there is a synchronicity to the universe, whether this is true or not. If you go way back to, I think, when people started getting interested back into pop culture news, which was probably around the Disney investor meeting, politics had sucked all the oxygen out of the room for a long, long time. And it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago where people were like, okay, we want to get back into entertainment news and stuff, which is great because that's what we cover. And the Mandalorian ends. Luke Skywalker comes back. Cobra Kai comes out the same time Doctor Who episode drops. Jodie says she's going to quit. There's a synergy here. All right. Oh, if you, I don't know, it's this rocket science formula. It's like physics. If you treat the fans with respect and you treat the characters with respect and you write a good story, people like it. I know it's really hard to get there. Hollywood has fought long and hard over the last 5 years to do everything but that, because these are, of course, any good storytelling is patriarchal, and it's a product of the white supremacy. And when you see Jodie, the possibility of her quitting, and I'm fully convinced she's going to quit, and that many people get happy about it reminds you of how many people got happy about the return of Luke Skywalker. These are messages that are going to be sent, and there's still a lot of factions and a lot of places that don't want this to happen. Will fight tooth and nail to keep this from happening, but eventually you got to make money, and this little experiment with Jodie has failed miserably, like a lot of us thought it would. And this makes me think back to the Vulture article where she started her reign as, I put this up on Twitter, but this is, Mrs. Nerdrotic brought this up because she's all, maybe you need to reset why there is so much disdain for Jodie Whittaker. Well, and not everybody has been playing along and paying attention to how many times she's called the classic audience old, that aged out. And it's because she's an adult pretender. She is an NPC. She gets, like Jeremy says, downloaded information, repeats information. I don't know. She might be a complete empty shell. I don't know. Jodie Whittaker's Regeneration. After 5 decades, Doctor Who has its first female doctor. What took so long? And if we go down here. Okay, we go. Modern day Britain is one thing, but what if the Doctor materializes in the European Dark Ages? Exactly, Jodie says. What Chris wanted to do, particularly in the cast and the story, is to reflect the world we live in today. Very often, we're only seeing stories being told through the white male gaze. That's what Doctor Who always celebrated. That's how you start your reign.
Before an episode's aired. That's antagonism.
Yep.
That's antagonism. That's disrespect. That's bias. When you look back at, for instance, you look at when Capaldi took over the role. You look over when Matt Smith took over the role. And I use those two because Capaldi's a vet and Matt Smith was a 26-year-old boy. No disrespect. And just the manner in which they introduced themselves to the role. Matt Smith was talking about how he was in his flat, how he got the call, couldn't believe it. I'm 26, I've got the Doctor Who role. How he had to tell his parents, how scared he was, excited, scared, excited. And you got from that wee little interview of this unknown actor, pretty much unknown actor. You just got this great sense of there's going to be, excitement to come. The actor was excited. He was ready. He was excited. It was a nervous energy, but a great energy that you could see that he wanted to thrive off. And Matt Smith's Doctor thrived. He was great. Capaldi came on. Capaldi has a similar story to David Tennant, childhood Doctor Who fans. Capaldi probably more so than David Tennant. and the love and the reverence that they have for the franchise just shone through with the pair of them, shone through. And then you get Whittaker, and instead of endearing herself, instead of regaling some stories of Doctor Who, whether they be I just used to hide behind a pillow or the sofa as a kid. We're going to immediately politicize and alienate by antagonism huge parts of our audience. Bearing in mind, Britain is approximately 89% white. That's just the demographic. That's just facts. It's not racism. It's just facts. So this is a British institution. So to start poking your own people is ridiculous. It swelled in America with David Tennant's popularity and Matt Smith's popularity. Swelled. Huge market there. China picking it up. Why are you getting your main actor to antagonize potential countries that just want your entertainment science fiction show, or science fantasy, really, in the case of Doctor Who? Why would you want to antagonize them? It was a very calculated move that her and Chibnall were coming on to correct things. They were coming on to educate, to use the Kurtzman adage. It's not about Doctor Who, it's about the platform. So they were coming on, I think, to utilize the platform of Doctor Who. We wanted to bring in I like the way she said we wanted to bring in a cast that represented Britain. To me, that's very disrespectful to the black actors, Mickey, who'd come before then, Martha Jones, who was a full-time companion and beloved companion, and even Bill, who was the previous one, Bill Potts, black lesbian actress. So to dismiss those just immediately, because we've got our diverse group of people, showed a complete lack of understanding and knowledge of the actual franchise itself. So Whittaker came on. She never came on as a friend of the series. She never came on as somebody who loved the series. She came on very much as a double act with Chibnall to use it as a platform to preach.
Absolutely. And she had all the opportunity to endear herself. And I mean, I've been told stuff in confidence that I don't want to repeat, but she's been given opportunities to go out there and do stuff. And she was so set on equality instead of earning her way and understanding that, yeah, it was completely unfair. And you mentioned this in your video. I mentioned it last night. Yeah. You know what? First female doctor. And a lot of people have mentioned this, the odds were stacked against her. It was going to be twice as hard. She knew that when she took the role, and that should have been something you would have been excited to take on. Yes. It's like, hey, I am going to win people over with my charm. I'm not going to win everybody over, but at least, damn it, I'm going to try. She didn't even try. She was given all the opportunity in the world, and yet what she was treated like? She was treated like a girl. They went, don't worry, honey. You don't have to do anything. We'll change the entire show for you. I mean, it's almost like Chibnall's a simp, I mean, and that's what they had to do. And that was their plan from the start, according to Chibnall. I'm just going off of what I've read. I mean,
2004, there was a reimagining of a science fiction show where big changes were made. One of the biggest changes, of course, was beloved member of the A-Team, Dirk Benedict, Faceman, was... His character as Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica was changed to Kara Thrace, aka Starbuck, as a call sign for her Viper. And initially, people were just like, "Whoa, Starbuck, a female?" And what happened there? Well, Katie Sackhoff she played that role like it was made for her. And you think I mean, you feel free to contradict me, but I think of Starbuck now. My immediate thought is Cara Thrace. My immediate thought is Katie Sackhoff, as opposed to Dirk Benedict, simply because of the how great that TV show was, how great that reimagining was, that it was so respectful in its earnestness. The 70s show was very campy, very light. This one had a completely different direction. It was going to be dark. It was going to be science versus theology. And it was going to pose some very big questions. And it was going to make a huge change in the cast. We saw white people, males transplanted with females. We saw black males transplanted with white males. We saw black males transplanted with Asian females. They wanted the cast that they wanted. They clearly, when they saw these actors for the role, they were just like, oh, these are the ones that we want in place. And Apollo, who was very much the lead of the two in the original, played a complete backseat to Katie Sackhoff's incredible Starbuck in that reimagining. She was just superb. And that is somebody who isn't using her gender as an excuse, who isn't using the showrunner as an excuse for failure. That was somebody who was just like, okay, I'm going in. I know how beloved Benedict is. I know how beloved the original series is. But I am going to do my damnedest and I'm going to make this work. And my God, she did. And that's why in 2020, Katie Sackhoff is beloved in the geek fandom. Because no matter what series she goes to, no matter where she ends up, whether it's the Bionic Woman, for a few episodes in that Doom show, sadly, or whether it's off doing other things, whether it be in the Clone Wars, whether it be in Rebels, whether it be in other, she is just beloved, and that's due to hard work. Whittaker wasn't interested in the hard work, was only interested in the representation.
Yeah.
And it's today we've seen exactly how racist people really are, because there was I think there was a hashtag tweeting today. I'm not sure if it was in the UK only or worldwide, but it was Jodie's my doctor. Hashtag Jodie's my doctor. And I was amazed. The first reaction was just her gender.
Yep.
And if you don't have a story, that's the very foundation. You ain't got a story, you got nothing. A gender isn't a story. A color isn't a story. A sexuality isn't a story. Neither are they characters. They're aspects of a character. So you need story first, you need characters, then you can play with whatever roles you want to play with. They're the most important. And if your audience are as superficial as the hashtags that they put out, that's why you have no viewers anymore. Because the people who come for entertainment, the people who come to watch some good science fantasy, to see a romp, to have a smile on their face for a bit as we're taking on an incredible journey, they've gone because you've left them.
Yeah. And those traits were already there in this show. This was nothing they needed to do or change. This show was already doing it perfectly. It went off the rails, in the late Capaldi run, which was no fault of Capaldi's. We already know that, but it's Stephen Moffat's fault. And I think he was just trying to bend the knee to BBC or placate them or whatever. And it must have been a frustrating experience going through the whole diversity initiative when you're trying to create art, which is based on merit. It always will be. And it's the ultimate form of it, really, of meritocracy.
Well, meritocracy is a construct of the patriarchy now.
construct. Yeah. Okay. Well, and then what we're dealing with constructs that don't work. They are, these constructs are becoming destructs, and the show is dead now. So Jodie's gone. If Jodie's gone, it doesn't matter. Chris Chibnall is gone. It doesn't matter. Not unless, and they won't do this, they erase the last 2 years from existence, the last 2 seasons from existence completely. Don't ever mention it again, and do not put Jodie in a 60th anniversary special, which you know they're going to do, which sucks because I would love to see Christopher Eccleston will probably be back in this one.
Capaldi won't.
Yeah, I don't think Capaldi will. I don't. I
Shafted him.
They completely shafted him. And I talked about this last night. I remember reading something to the effect of, I will never leave this role. I love this role. They'll have to rip it out of my dead hands. That's gone. Just like, Matt Smith signing for an 8th season. I read that's gone somewhere too. But I understand things change in this. And, Clara was the first sign of trouble, but here's what they misinterpreted, or they purposely misinterpreted. They started seeing problems with the Doctor during Capaldi's run, but it was never the Doctor. That was never the problem. The problem
is the companion.
Everything, like his companion, everything around him, the writing. But what they said is, well, it must be the Doctor. It must be the white male. No, that's your Luke Skywalker. Don't F with that ever. That's your foundation. That is the one thing that can never change. And when you do, you destroy the show. And I give you the last 2 seasons for evidence. And nobody can ever convince me otherwise, because we haven't seen it work. But we've seen the other thing work for decades. And the reason that other thing worked is because you could do so much change around him and bring in all of those elements. That's why it was the show for everyone. Now it's on a dying network. Things aren't going to get better. They're not going to be able to rejuvenate this. I think you brought it up in our message last night. The only thing we can do right now could end up being just worse is a hard reboot.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I have great ideas about how to reset it. I have these ideas in my head, these ways that you can change everything. Doctor Who is not irreparably damaged, in as much as there is a way out of this nonsense. And I think a clever actor turns everything on its head, and this isn't the Doctor, this is the Master. And it's all been a scheme all along. I think it's what frustrates me the most is every one of the actors that we've had today is so charismatic and has had such an incredible chemistry or bond with every companion that they had. Eccleston and Billy were great together. Tennant and Billy Piper were amazing together. Tennant and Martha Jones were great together. And with Catherine Tate, even better. The chemistry between those two was electric. Matt Smith, obviously, the absolutely unbelievable chemistry with Amy Pond that really got the fans, on board with that one. And again, Clara, she's a great actress and great chemistry there. Capaldi comes along. Capaldi could have chemistry with a fucking pencil. He's just such a good actor. When you've seen all the roles that he's done throughout his career, he's such a good actor. That guy could have chemistry with English literature. He's just superb. And everybody that you put in front of him, he made that scene shine. Whittaker is vacuous. She couldn't have chemistry with a set. There is nothing. She has no chemistry with a single one of her companions. When Captain Jack hugged her, it was like hugging an ice cube. It was just, she was dead. She was like, nothing, no warmth, no chemistry, no nothing. So every time these characters are on my screen, I'm asleep because not one of them can hold my temp. Well, Bradley Walsh could if he was given source to work with, but he's not. He's told to say, a daft one-liner every 36 minutes. And that's all you're getting, Bradley, because unfortunately, you're a bit too good. And I'm glad to see him get out of this show because he deserves so much better. But Tosin Cole? I've had Verucas with more charisma than that guy. And Yaz, I mean, I don't even know what Yaz is meant to be. Another episode goes by where she's not doing her police job, where we've had no mention of that whatsoever, where she's bumming it in the second TARDIS and everyone's just on board with whatever she wants to do. And then what do? Oh my God, I really hope it's the doctor because I totally want to rub my vagina against hers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, if that is all you have, if that's the only thing you've got, just close it down now.
Shut it down. And I said that's the one time they listened to the fans, like the 5 on Tumblr. Please be her. Oh my God.
It worked really well for Raylos.
It did. Didn't that work out good? Maybe they can borrow the blue butterflies for Thasmin. Whatever that it's supposed to be Thasmin, right? That's the ship.
Is that the ship name?
Friday Night Tights, you said, I think 2021 needs to be the year of 2 genders. And can we retire shipping forever from everything? Can I just never hear that term again? I am so shipping these people where they're like listening. And yeah, if they undo the timeless children thing, it'll only be because of people speaking up. Believe me, that I still don't think they will undo this.
I just want my fun sci-fi show back, Gary.
I do too.
That's all I want. I don't think it's too much to ask. And I said something in my video yesterday, which a lot of people gravitated towards, and I'm glad because it was meant to be the kicker line in the video. And that's you don't have to destroy the past to build a future.
Mm-mm.
And that's exactly what they did with Doctor Who. They tore the past down. And that is a purposeful, as June Cock would say, act of vandalism that they perpetrated upon the Doctor Who community. They didn't just say, this is the future of Doctor Who, and if it fucks up, it fucks up. But they said, no, this is the future of Doctor Who, and we're going to tear everything that you loved away. So it's not a matter of when they had their little chummy sit-down talk. Oh, things changing are scary, aren't they?
Oh.
But, suck it up, buttercup. When they had that little chat together, they seem to neglect to say, oh, by the way, we've torn everything about the past away. Hartnell's no longer number 1, etc., etc. This isn't the 13th Doctor. This is Doctor 62 Squillion.
Yeah, I out that high.
It's just that they made a mockery of it. They didn't advance it. They didn't allow it. You can tell stories with each regeneration.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tear things apart from the roots to do that. But they wanted to because the BBC are embarrassed by their 12 white male doctors.
Yep.
And so they're trying to, in essence, rewrite history. Because this is what these filthy people do. They don't understand or appreciate that history has happened. I don't think anything's wrong in a country where you are still, even in 2020, nearly 9 out of 10 people are white. You have your male white lead. That's the just predominant nature of that country. There's nothing embarrassed about. These are great actors. These aren't just white boys given a role. They've earned their position there.
And it's not like they're spreading a bunch of hate. It's not like the Doctor spreads this terrible message. It was a great role model for boys. Use your brain first. That's why I loved my kids watching him. You think your way out of a situation, don't beat your way out of a situation. That's what I loved about it. But that is gone now because they wanted to destroy it. You're right. They're doing the same thing with Star Trek too. There was no reason to make Michael Burnham a foster sister to Spock other than to fix the problematic past of Star Trek, one of the most forward-thinking shows of all time. But Alex Kurtzman knows better. Chris Chibnall, they know better than you or I. And that's why they had that little conversation in the middle of the damn episode, stopped everything dead to tell us that change is scary, but it needs to happen. So just sit back and enjoy it.
But change has always happened.
Yeah.
When Eccleston came back, it was a new Who. It's called New Who for a reason. Not just because it came back, but yeah, there was a new version of the Doctor. There was a very damaged version of the Doctor. He was the last of the Time Lords. Gallifrey was deemed destroyed during the Time War. This was a person who had recently regenerated coming out of that Time War. Then we discovered that he was the one who ultimately pushed the button to destroy both Gallifrey and the Daleks. Then he had to reconcile being a good man and his war-like nature that he'd gained from this fight. And so we saw very, very polarizing personality traits from the Doctor. He would almost be schizophrenic in nature at times, going from happy to deadly serious. And we saw those aspects very much with Eccleston and Tennant, and a little bit with Matt Smith. And then, of course, Capaldi was just like, oh, I'm a Pertwee guy. I'm totally going full on Pertwee grumpy Scotsman. You know, what if Pertwee was a grumpy Scotsman? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Worked brilliantly. So they had these very unique character traits which separated them from the previous Doctors. And it felt like an evolution. It did feel like an evolution. And it was an evolution because Russell T Davies came along with some incredible scripts and breathed fresh life into the Doctor through good writing. Not through virtue signaling, not through projection. No, he came in with some very good ideas for some fun stories and some sad stories and some, scary stories. And he came in and he did that for 5 odd years before the reins were passed to Moffat. And that was the evolution. We had the youngest ever Doctor with Matt Smith, 26 years old, 27 when he starts filming. The youngest Doctor, replacing Davidson. So we have another unique kind of first there.
One of the best first opening episodes ever.
Oh, 11th Hour is just brilliant. And after the 11th Hour, everyone's... Look, this is how good the 11th Hour is. Tennant is there for 5 years nearly. 3 great seasons, 4 specials, the Christmas specials. Best ratings this show's ever done, sky high. I'm leaving. People heartbroken. This guy's going. 27-year-old, almost unknown Matt Smith comes in to take over the role. Oh, well, they're just hiring pretty boys. That's all they're doing. The Doctor's going to get younger and younger every time now. This is going to get silly, yada, yada, yada. Lots of cynicism leading up to him. The 11th Hour comes at the end of the 11th hour, like, fucking hell, Matt Smith, the Doctor.
Yep.
That boy is the Doctor. That was brilliant casting. Brilliant. They saw something and he absolutely delivered. And at the end, when he put on his bow tie and he put on his suspenders and his Harris tweed jacket, and he's like, hello, I'm the Doctor. And you're like, yes, you are.
And within a year, there's a bunch of little kids with bow ties running around Comic-Con in San Diego.
Fashion trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a fashion trend. The bow tie becomes a fashion trend.
And Doctor Who blows up in this country because of the Tennant era, because it was on Netflix starting, I think, at like 2010 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
9, 10. And people are able to catch up on it and finally see it because it was buried on this little BBC America thing that not a lot of people saw. So once they started seeing on Netflix and streaming through it, it just got massive here. And they pissed it all away. They really did. And it was too bad. It was too bad because it was, I mean, it captured a a young generation of kids here, which is awfully hard to do these days. And I don't think they'll ever be able to do that again, unfortunately. But yeah, my kid, I've got pictures of my little Nerdrotic Junior with his 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver with the little bow tie on. And I had a, like I have now, but at my other house, I had a door that was a TARDIS, always standing in front of it and getting in and out of his TARDIS. He made videos playing with my Doctor Who action figures. It was great. It was great, but then he just got over it. And Jodie severed the emotional connection. And, and that emotional connection is important because it's not something you can just get back like this.
No.
Yeah, not with a moment.
But Jodie's, hers is so obvious. We have a white guy. We have an Asian woman. We have a black male. We have a white female as a doctor. She's wearing a bloody pride flag on her t-shirt. It's so obnoxiously obvious. There's no subtlety. It is education. It is message time.
Oh, it is. Isn't it weird that the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker isn't female? She hasn't played female. She's not feminine.
No, there's nothing.
No, the episode, every time John Barrowman was next to her, it was embarrassingly bad because John was trying. He was trying. There was a moment where, when she came up with that plan and he's all, no, don't do that. That's very Jack thing to do. So I'm like, that was kind of cool. But I mean, it just made me long for better times. It didn't help the situation at all. But the goodbyes to the companions, they were so empty. It was like she was waiting for him to get out so she could scissor Yaz or something. I don't know.
Well, has there been a specific time where they know that the Doctor can change gender?
A specific time was unless it was buried in some Target book that I am unaware of. It was with the 5th Doctor and the Doctor's wife.
No, sorry, my bad. I mean, in Whittaker's run, has she ever made it clear to her companions that she's been different? She's been male.
She did in the beginning. She mentioned it in The Woman Who Fell to Earth in passing, and then she complained about being a bloke in the I almost said The Witch is Familiar, but that's a Capaldi episode.
Oh, this Spyfall.
No, the one where she's with Nightcrawler. What's his name? The guy who played Nightcrawler in the Brian.
Alan.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I hate it when I do this on a live stream. But the one where she's in the dark ages of the witch trials and stuff. And,
I'd already checked out.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that episode, she did mention, if I was a bloke, I'd be treated different. No, if she was a woman like that in the 1500s, she would have been burned at the stake.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it would have been it would have just been absolutely imperative that they would have had an episode where it's not mentioned and where it starts to get revealed that this alien is alien.
They did in passing. They did mention it though. It was just, you're right. It should have been a majorly impactful moment, something you can play throughout an entire season. They just go, nah, I bring it up. That's it. And you're trying to think of ideas that like they didn't even think of because they didn't care. They just wanted to.
Yeah, they didn't care.
A female, if you really wanted to do something with this, there's a infinite number of things you could have done. Listen, and I'll repeat again. There's nothing wrong with you if you want a single fictional character to not get gender swapped. And to act like this is something new, it's not. It's boring, it's old, it's trite, and it doesn't work. And
what about the huge murder in the episode?
The murder of the non-threatening person of color by the dog. Oh, the murder of the show.
No, well, that's been happening for a while now.
Yeah.
No, the murder of the TARDIS.
Oh, yes. Doomcock brought that up. And I you know what? When I saw the episode, I didn't even think of that symbolism, but he's right. They had that extra TARDIS, which you could use for a plot point for an entire season, which would be brilliant. No, they crumpled it up.
But it's alive.
What was that?
It's alive. The TARDIS isn't just a machine.
Yeah. The TARDIS
she murdered a TARDIS.
Yes, you're right. Sacrifice.
Didn't give a shit.
Yep. That's a great point. I mean, there's, again, I don't catch everything. And the goddamn thing is alive.
Yeah.
And she murdered it.
She murdered it.
Point. And she's a killer of TARDIS. Right? But Doomcock said, that's kind of symbolic of what they've done to the show. And he was right. That whole, they just wanted to show a TARDIS imploding. And they didn't think about the fact that it's alive. They didn't think about the fact that it was a police box, and she was doing it as a trick. And it was a Chris Chibnall magic bullshit way to end an episode, which he always does. They did this massive setup of the Daleks and did nothing. So stupid. It was dumb. Most of them were killed off screen. But yeah.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, they were 3D printed, so they probably fell down the steps and just broke.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll bring that up. I'll bring this scene up real quick. Hang on. I have it handy with me right here. A garbage episode because I was reviewing it. So let's not get the sound going. That'd be bad.
So that was a deep exhale by me.
That's okay. And we can watch. Oh my God. Yeah, that ending scene is like 10 minutes long. Oh, here he is. Okay. So
circuit to make it.
No, I don't want the sound. There it is. Okay. So I'll bring it up in just a second where we
look like mine, and guess who fell?
Oh, shida. Freaking noise she makes. And then I don't care if I get dinged on this. Thanks everyone for showing up real quick. We're going to watch the symbolism of the TARDIS getting imploded in, that was such a great, you don't want to see my file page there. Why did it stop? There it goes. No, I got a great picture of her going like that. And that's what I was trying to do. There we go. Why does it keep going to this shit? That's why. It's live. You can clown me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're not letting me.
No, I'm actually reading a thing where a random fan is trying to explain away some of the shite in Wonder Woman, and Paddy Jenkins has jumped in to go, sure, what he said.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Paddy. Random fans trying to sort your shite film out for you. Okay, darling.
There. I'm just gonna have to take a picture of it. Yeah, it's not letting me share it. That's fucking strange. Sorry to stop the show dead in its tracks because of that. But I was just because there was such a big deal put on the TARDIS being alive with the episode with Neil Gaiman's episode, of course. Hello. And then with River Song, when the TARDIS exploded and literally caused the end of the universe, and all this sort of kind of high profile sentient with the TARDIS, she I don't know what you want to call it, like likes companions, dislikes companions, people that come into the TARDIS, all this sort of stuff, how the Doctor talks to the TARDIS, and then she's got this brand new one. And fuck it, let's just kill it. Let's just kill it dead.
Just kill this sentient life form that can go through time and space through the mycelial network.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. Yep, that's what they wanted to show. A TARDIS. That is the symbolism of Doctor Who right now. A crumpled TARDIS. And I didn't even think about the living thing, dude. That's a good point. Did you catch that in your review? Good one.
I didn't put in my review, so feel free to nick it.
No, it's yours.
My review of the episodes. Actually, go watch Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai is great.
Yeah. No, I was too pissed about the middle scene where they were telling the fans. So there's a whole conversation, if you haven't watched the show, between Ryan and the Doctor, and the Doctor brings up the timeless children, and she's like, I'm not me. I don't know what I am anymore. He's all, you're still the Doctor. Yeah, he goes, you're still the Doctor. And she goes, okay, maybe you're right. I'm still the doctor. Nothing's changed. And he goes, no. I didn't say nothing would change. Change is good. Change is scary. New is scary. And she talks about that there's a lot of her life that she doesn't know. So it's going to be a big effing mystery box. And what they're going to do is place a bunch of people of color in between all of the doctors. That's their whole plan. They'll probably still make no, they can't. They've already fucked that up. So yeah, you've got your little black girl and then the 9 kids that came out. How many kids did they kill in Timeless Change?
There was the
at least 5.
1, 2. Oh, it's more than 5, I think.
Yeah.
So there's black girl, other girl,
the other Asian
girl,
white boy,
guy, white boy,
girl.
white boy.
It's at least 5 or 6.
It's 6, at least 6, at least 6.
So there's at least 6 people before William Hartnell.
Well, then it's on to yeah. At least 6.
And then there's the problem with Dr. Ruth because she's got a police box TARDIS, so it has to be after William Hartnell, but before the sonic screwdriver because she didn't know what it was. Unless they, fix this story in a comic or some bullshit like that. And I love that the High Republic was announced today. This big cross publishing event with Star Wars.
Did you see one of the writers on Twitter?
No, what?
Already fucking pre-firing shots. He was posting stuff like, "Don't be jerks. Everyone's a Star Wars fan. Even if you just pick up a book and read it right now, you're a Star Wars fan as much as anyone else is a Star Wars fan. Don't let anyone else tell you that you're not a Star Wars fan. People can be jerks. Don't be a jerk." And
how about read my book? What's wrong with just read my book?
It's my book coming out in February. Well, somebody did actually put in the comments that, "When's your book coming out?"
Yeah,
February.
Yeah, I like bring that stuff up. And Lucasfilm, Doctor Who, BBC. How about just, you know what? Unless it's a positive conversation, don't have one.
Yes,
don't have one. Don't bring up.
Why are you throwing gasoline everywhere?
Try a whole calendar year of not bringing it up online. You could talk about it with your friends. You could whinge all you want about it. Treat fans with respect for a calendar year. It's going to be a little tough with Doctor Who because you never really have recently. You used to be great. There used to be Doctor Who Experience. There used to be Fathom Events. They used to have, Peter Capaldi, like I said, used to go out and shake people's hands in the line at Comic-Con in costume.
Doctor Who at the proms.
Yep. Doctor Who at the proms. Those are good times. No, what we got
Murray
now.
Gold was good times. That's what good times were. Murray Gold's music.
Yep.
That is so missed. So sorely missed.
I'm looking to see if there's anything. Oh, it sticks out like a sore thumb, dude. I'm looking to see if there's anything new on the Jodie front today. Other than nope. Star Wars.
Oh, by the way, the characters in the High Republic look like assholes. That's why they're all on the defensive, because they just look like somebody had a diversity wank and came everywhere.
Especially with the SJW haircut, the one with the SJW haircut.
And there's barely any guys. I think there's 2 guys.
Yep. It's going to be so exciting.
Women, girls.
They did the Time Lord Victorious publishing thing with Doctor Who too, and it's so confusing. It's like a couple of free episodes here, a virtual reality game, a couple of books, a Big Finish adventure, a couple of comics. It's like, who's going to follow that? Is that supposed to bring in new fans? And the one thing we heard on Friday Night Tights the most, because I made all my co-hosts watch the show, even the guest, you're welcome, just some guy. They had no idea what was going on. So how are you? I mean, the holiday specials were what you used a lot of times to bring people on board.
Yes.
Oh,
a self-contained bit of fun. So if you just started watching Doctor Who that day, You could be like, oh God, this was a fun little romp. Where can I watch some more of this? That's why they were self-contained. So you didn't have to know the past. So you could instantly be part of the show. You just get the basics down. It's the Doctor, and the Doctor travels in his box through time and space. That's all you need with Doctor Who. Then let the adventure begin.
Yeah. So Deadline, I mean, Deadline's not a rag. I mean, it's still Access Media. Let's not be crazy about this, but Deadline's not a rag. They're up there with, the Hollywood Reporter and Variety is saying that Doctor Who BBC refuses to deny report that Jodie Whittaker is quitting sci-fi series. The BBC has declined to comment on a report that Jodie Whittaker is set to hang up her sonic screwdriver vibrator and quit as the 13th Doctor in the British broadcaster's iconic sci-fi series Doctor Who. The well-connected Nicole Methvin wrote in the Daily Mirror. Is she well-connected? Nicola Methvin?
I don't know, but the Daily Mirror is in the UK. Let's just say we don't treat that with particular reverence.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's where the this is where it originally came from. That was the original source.
Yep. And that's why I held back. I mean, but by all means, talk about it, make a video, get 100,000 views. That's great. But I want it to be real. I want it to be official. That's what
I basically said in my that video. I said, look, we've been talking, me, Gary, Dooncock, Balstrake, we've been talking about this for 9 months. And I went back into the reasons why, we're talking about contracts.
Yes.
Contracts with America, contracts with China. These contracts are running out at the end of this series when series 13 goes. So, if, particularly if I was like America, for example, where your viewership used to be millions, and now your viewership is 300,000 on the last episode of Doctor Who. Why would you want to purchase some more? Unless you were picking up for dirt nothing, dirt cheap. China, why would you want to pay the BBC? It's not Top Gear. This isn't a popular show anymore. This show's been killed. They've killed it. So that's what my video kind of went into, as opposed to I said it's most likely just Rumorville, but this is Rumorville that we've been discussing for a very long time because of specific reasons.
Yeah, I'm going to pop back up to that article real quick. This is just a quick reminder of the American ratings. I'm still looking for So there was no reviews on Metacritic, no reviews on Rotten Tomato. I can't find the ratings for America I'm sure I just got to search it differently, but this was okay. So 300,000 people watched it, the finale where they destroyed the show. Out of that 300,000, 0.12 in the 18 to 49 demographic. That is basically 120,000 people in the age that they want to watch this show watched it in America. 120,000 people. I am probably going to get more views on that on my Doctor Who review. It's tracking to beat that.
Easy. You will. Yeah. You will. No problem.
So that's
my video is on 105.
Yep. Well, you have videos more than
tomorrow. My video will probably be over the amount of people that fucking watched it in America. Who were the target demographic? I will stress.
That is, people actually buy stuff, pay for things. Yeah, that need to keep this show alive. Now, okay, so we'll get in this article and I'll tell you what my insider said back when I did my video 9 months ago, and what he said when I just talked to him about this whole thing, because he told me to wait. I said, oh, should I put out videos? I'll wait. The well-connected Nicola Methhead, we'll just call her, wrote that the Daily Mirror that Whittaker's departure is being kept under wraps while filming on Series 13 continues. If she does exit the TARDIS, it will be in keeping with her predecessors, who also completed 3 seasons before moving on to other projects. That's the thing that feels convenient about this. A little.
Dude, I think we're both in agreement. She had a marching orders. a year ago.
Yep, she did. The mirror side.
Yeah, this is all they're doing is coordinating, I think, the best time to announce and how to announce.
Optics.
Yeah.
The Mirror cited a Doctor Who source as saying it's a very hush-hush, but it is known on the set that Jodie is leaving and they are gearing up for a regeneration. Her departure is top secret, but at some point over the coming months, the arrival of the 14th Doctor will need to be filmed. Well, if you think back to all the other times the Doctor has been replaced, what Capaldi announced he's leaving at the end of January in 2017, then Jodie was announced in July, but they supposedly knew at that time. Chibnall refused to do the final Christmas episode, according to Moffat. That's why he came back and did this. That seems there's something that doesn't line up there, but whatever. What's done is done. And we know, Matt Smith's departure was a bit of a surprise, but he had a lot of friends in Hollywood. Karen Gillan was going over there. Andrew Garfield, they were telling him to come over, and that's probably why he left. Jodie is leaving in shame. She came in and destroyed the show, and if she quit, well, that would be in line with what she has done, and that would be in line with that type of personality to come in, destroy something, not put in a lot of work, bitch about it, and then quit, and then leave it in absolute dust, and pulverized. Chibnall's got to go too. I mean, like if Chibnall stays. That's the argument we've all made, dude. Man or woman in this part, Chibnall writing it, it's shit.
Yes. I imagine he will go with her because I'm pretty sure that she said if I'll stay if Chibnall's staying and I'll leave if Chibnall's leaving. So her to be leaving to me signals that Chibnall's going to. And let's just play devil's advocate and say she goes and Chibnall stays. Nothing's changed.
No.
It doesn't matter who you've got as the Doctor. It's fucked. It's wank. It's absolute tat. Absolute tat. But while the BBC have their racist diversity and inclusion policy in place, which was brought around in 2017 and hankered in 2020, and in 2021 they're looking to increase the bigotry and racism in that. I think we're always just from here on in going to get a showrunner whose hands are tied unless somebody comes in and sorts out the partisan BBC. And I think the only way I have contacts at the BBC, and they've told me that the BBC, I don't know if I should really say this, the BBC themselves think that they are too right-leaning still.
I've heard that before. Oh my God.
I still believe that the BBC is way too right-leaning.
That's like people accusing CNN of being too conservative or something.
Yeah. So we laughed a lot at that. And I said I can't believe that. And it's like they actually think that the show is too the BBC is too right leaning, and they need to still address balance.
Obviously, they need to address that. BBC, get on it immediately. The report added that Whittaker's co-star Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole will be leaving the show as well, and make way for a refreshed alien fighting team. Mandeep Gill will remain, while British comedian John Bishop is joining the cast. Showrunner Chris Chibby will remain with the BBC Studios produced series The Mirror added. Well, that is disappointing. And I'm just looking over here at this Mark Hamill, literally speechless after The Mandalorians. Ming-Na Wen praises Star Wars legend. You notice after the Star Wars theory thing and it hit Variety, Mark Hamill put out that tweet, and there's just been all this love for Mark Hamill. stamp down that.
I do like Mark a lot. I just wish we could like suck out that TDS.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know, it's just like snake bite, Mark. I'm just gonna get out.
Yeah, I don't follow movie stars. I think Gina Carano is and Jackson Public from Venture Brothers, and all the other blue check marks are like, there's a weatherman in Bakersfield who follows me. Big fan, I guess. I don't know.
I'm still unfollowed. Oh yeah, we've done well to quit Twitter at the end of the year, didn't we, Gary?
Oh yeah, we did really good on that. We're gonna get on that soon. Don't worry. Okay. So, well, we've been busy. Busy. So on this front, okay. So my insider told me well over 9 months ago that Jodie was on her way out. Chris Chibnall was on their way out, and it wasn't. I mean, it was just because of the value of the franchise. They were worried about the value of the franchise. Again, this is not a person who works. I do not have a contact inside the BBC. I have somebody who works with them peripherally somewhere out there in the universe. And I've known this person for 12 years. That's the person who told me that the Doctor would originally be a female, blah, 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 blah. So they said they're worried about the value of the franchise. They really don't mind anything that Chris Chibnall has done. They think it's absolutely fantastic. They love it editorially. That's what Piers Wenger said. That is their attitude. That remains their attitude. But the people have spoken. But for the longest time, their attitude, towards us was that we're plebs. We're, the people criticizing the show. It was easy to dismiss us when you were calling us Nazis and bigots and all that stuff. And that narrative has slowly been destroyed over time by watching our stuff for any amount of time, getting to know us. And sure, some people still think that. I obviously pissed off somebody so much so that they decided to mock up a fake cease and desist letter from a real law firm that they used their letterhead and wrote. I'll show you later. I'll show it to you later. What he told me to wait, because a lot of stuff changed over the coof, obviously, and we've seen a lot of it. They took away a couple of episodes. We don't know if they still get those episodes or not. They probably don't, but I don't know. Maybe they do, because I know it's a commission thing. They're allotted a budget to do the show, or maybe they're going to use it all up on the 8 episodes. Who knows? One of those 8 episodes is a holiday special, by the way. So we're only going to get 7 during the year. What was that?
This gets better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're going to get a lot less Jodie, but
I've never wanted less bang for my buck than to do with Doctor Who right now.
Right. We got a 60th anniversary coming up in 2023. And if we didn't, I don't know if this show, and I still don't, I mean, and this is not from my insight, I don't know if this show survives, because the licensing, the toys and all the other products, that it's hit rock bottom. The
selling toys,
Big Finish stuff sells okay. Anything with the classic Doctor sells fine. When they remake the action figures, they sell fine. Anything connected to her doesn't sell at all.
Every time I purchase off Amazon, they keep trying to get me to buy a Jodie, and
that's a big problem. And there is a concern. There's a real concern that they have done damage to the brand permanently, which they have. You have. That's we've been saying it for 2 years. Stop. It started out with I'd love to keep giving you money and be a fan of your thing if you stopped, I don't know, disrespecting the thing I loved about it. It's really not, and you're the one who decided to throw a woman in there, not us. You could have made it a black male easily. Nobody would have blinked an eye. The show would have been in great shape.
Well, probably wouldn't, because of Chibnall.
No, Chibnall did it. Chibnall forced this. And making it about identity politics at all is just bullshit. I'm tired of that stuff anyway. But I think we might hear this is, again, don't take it with a grain of salt, blah, 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 all that. But you might hear something in the next month or so. I thought this would at least force a statement, but I guess a denial is a bit of a statement anyway, right? I mean, a denial to say anything. It would be very easy to go, she's still on board, even if she is just for another year. It'd be very easy to say she's still on board.
The Beeb's never been reactionary.
That's true.
So I'm not surprised that they haven't made any statement to date. Worst case scenario, let's just say that the Mirror is trying to perpetuate a rumor of switching the show around. Would even that would say that people are getting fucking sick of the show.
Yeah.
In its current format. And you know, just watching this seasonal special, it was boring. It was soulless. It was empty. There was no fun. There was no frolics. You know, you had 2 minutes of Captain Jack trying, but other than that, it was just desperately soulless. And that's Chibnall. That's Chibnall unable to write. That's Chibnall unable to write fun characters, interesting characters. We just get these vacuous companions and a doctor who in 2 seasons and 2 specials has yet to have a moment. It's crazy that in all those episodes, they have yet to have a defining moment that separates them as their doctor.
You know what I don't see? Interviews with Chibnall. I know they exist, and I found them. But you know, when Moffat, especially Moffat's really charming in interviews. He's really good in interviews, and that's why you would see clips from time to time because they would get passed around and shared around by people. You don't see that like ever from Chibnall or anybody from this show, unless it's controversial. The only time this thing gets a bump is when it's controversial. Same for Star Trek. You know, anytime people say it gets canceled or whatever, it gets people really excited. That should worry you.
Yes.
When people are more excited about your doctor being ejected than your actual show the day after it airs, when this news eclipses the news of your special that just came out, that should be concerning. And they have they don't have their head in the sand. They just don't give a shit. They're going to motor ahead because this is a platform now. It's important to teach you these lessons, and if the plebs don't learn, then they're just not good enough to be our fans. Yellow flag.
Yeah, I mean, with Bishop coming on, like I said, I don't find him particularly funny as a comedian, but he comes across as a nice guy. And at least he does have a personality. So I'm just praying to God that they give him more to do than anyone else.
That he's the doctor.
Just knock out Jodie, go into the closet, put some stuff on, and wiggle your screwdriver around for 40 minutes, mate. And just pretend, but I mean, that's got to. But unless they Graham him, because they just absolutely neutered Bradley Walsh in the last season. He did nothing but one-liner here or there, and that was it. He was done. I got a feeling, and this is complete gut feeling. I got a feeling that Walsh was just like, I got a 2-year contract. And after that first season, fuck this. I'm just dialing it in for season 2, and I'm gone. Cheers. See ya. Something for the resume. See you later. No interest in really advancing anything.
He looks so disinterested in this final episode. Like he just couldn't wait to get out of there. I can't find the American ratings anywhere. So if anybody knows where they are, if they could DM to me on Twitter.
You probably won't get yours until around about Thursday, I'd imagine.
Well, usually they're out 24 hours after the episode, but it's a business day.
Christmas period and stuff like that. So yeah, they're going to be
4.69 million. So it'll probably be what 5 5.3 million, something like that, maybe a little higher.
No,
Maybe
500,000 for you lot.
it might be. Not many people are watching BBC America anymore. It's part of cable packages. Maybe if you have Sling or something like that.
I think people watching the BBC anymore, which is
No, something I used to love watching. Absolutely love watching. It was a break.
I mean, this is a positive step for defunding the BBC. The BBC for years, since its inception, have been uniquely funded by us. And when you no longer serve the British public, then I'm sorry, then you find your own sources of money. And they don't, apart from selling shows abroad, they don't have any. And so you have your big earners like Top Gear, which virtually, tons and tons of countries buy, very popular, so they can make a good whack off that. But Doctor Who, that used to be a great British export. That's dead.
Yeah, it's hard for me to explain. I don't even know, to be honest with you, because we don't have anything like that here. We don't have a show that is part of the fabric of our society. I don't know, part of the DNA of being British. Not everybody's a fan of it, but I mean, it's an institution, right? Yeah. We don't have a show like that. We got Star Trek and stuff, but Star Trek is not watched by 1/6 of the country, which is phenomenal. Like, you were talking about the ratings of 13 million people. What's the population in your country? 66 million?
About 60, between 65 and 70 million.
Okay, 65 and 70 million. So 13 million people. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. And that was Voyage of the Damned, which is clearly that's holiday special. And to fall that far when you didn't need to, like you said so eloquently, you don't need to tear anything down. If you want to make new things, make new things. Nobody's stopping you from making new things. The Expanse, that's a new thing. When you did that awful Clash show, it sucked, but that was a new thing. You tried it. That was good. That's why I gave it a chance for like 5 minutes, and then I was out after Peter was gone. But do more stuff like that. That's fine. Sarah Jane Adventures were a new thing, and they were very successful. Yep.
Yeah. The only reason why they, of course, finished was the tragic death of Elizabeth Sladen. So that show probably would have run for a few more years
easily.
If she had lived. So that was very popular but it was very popular because it wasn't just a Doctor Who companion. It was very respectful. It was like, right, let's take everything that's about Doctor Who and then let's just kidify it a bit. Take away the more sinister aliens, and then we have our scary aliens, which would look a bit silly to the adults. Our scary aliens are going to be vulture-looking creatures, not weeping angels or Daleks or stuff like that, or Cybermen. They're not going to do those sort of aliens. They're going to do it a little bit lighter. It's because there's no doctor. We're going to have the computer behaving as the interface for solving the problems, and then you got a great set of kids, which were great little actors. They worked together.
It was a kid show, right? But it worked, and the Doctor appearances on them are great. Trickster is a damn good villain. I thought it was a good villain. I'm looking at some of the overnight ratings for Series 7. Accumulated 8 million, 6 million, 9, 10 million, and this downward trajectory. And it's because this wasn't a new idea. This is an old idea. Comic books have been doing this forever. You make a female version or you switch something to it's boring and it doesn't work. And God, we were trying to tell you that. And now we're here. I said it 3 years ago. You probably did too. It's like, we'll be lording over the ashes in the end. That's where we're at. We're like, what? We're looking at the corpse. We're saying goodbye.
I was actually up for a change. I was one of the people who were like, let's see how this works. But I did stress 3 years ago that if it fails, it will be because of Chibnall. It will be because of Chibnall's writing, and it will be because due to Chibnall's leadership. I didn't factor in that the person that was going to take over as the Doctor was going to be an obnoxious bitch, and like, you know, gaslight the fans. I didn't know she was going to do that. I stupidly thought that they'd be very grateful to take on such an iconic role and be the first female character to take on this iconic role. And because of this great accolade which has been bestowed on them, that they would try their utmost to perform in a manner that will make you believe that she could be the Doctor. But no, we got the article that you had. It always celebrates the male gaze. We got the excuses before we even had the show. We got the excuses for why people weren't going to like it, because they'd already worked out the story patterns that they were going to do, and that's reactionary. When you're already putting those safeguards in, oh well, if we get criticism now, we can say it's because misogyny.
Oh yeah,
grow up.
And that was me. That's what I was getting called. Bull's Trek was getting called. Dave Cullen. I mean, full credit to that ginge out there. Hail Dave Cullen. He did a video, the vandalization of Doctor Who, before Bull's Trek and I even got into the game, which was kind of like my inspiration. And you know, Dave Cullen gave Bull's Trek. You know, it's all gets paid forward, as Dave Cullen gave Bull's Trek and I a shout out in a video. I was like off to do a TV appearance. And this is like my channel a week before that was nothing. Like, you know, it was an up and coming channel, but like my life had completely changed. And then I remember like seeing everything blip on my phone. And it's like, Dave Cullen gave you a shout out. I'm like, what? No way. But I was saying, and it's okay to have that attitude. I'm not saying my attitude towards Doctor Who was like if you turn Spider-Man into a girl, I'd be just like, no, sure. Canonically, freaking Doctor Strange could screw up a spell. Mephisto could come down and say, I'll break up your, I'll give you your relationship back with Aunt May, but you got to be a girl, or with Mary Jane, but you got to be a girl and it's got to be a lesbian. That's a modern Marvel storyline right for you right there. That canonically you can do whatever you want because this is all make-believe. I don't care if it's possible. That's not what I came for. It's not what I signed up for. And that's not what a lot of people signed up for. And you know what? A lot of us were made to feel bad about that. We were shamed for it, called sexist from the get-go. I still get called it to this day. I don't really care at this point.
Oh, you get called sexy, Gary.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's it. It's the suspenders. No, it's not. Mrs. Nerdrotic likes these, so sorry. And I stick with it. It's a fictional character. It's one fictional character. Make another female character, build her up. You have Ramana, the Ronnie, do whatever you want. Pick a companion, make another show, make a Martha Jones show. I'd watch a Martha Jones show.
I would have when she moved to Unit. They could have done an interesting Unit show.
Yeah. Her and Mickey working together. That'd have been cool too.
Yeah.
But no, they had to take something away because that was their intention. We all know this. We all went over this, and this is what we knew what would happen. We're just watching this play out. And now, the news of Jodie possibly quitting blows it all up again, and it blows it up in their face. And the BBC has to be embarrassed about this. And of course, they're not going to comment. They're going to wait for it to die down, and it will. It'll be a news cycle. It'll die down. Just like the Star Wars theory thing did. And that's what we're for. We're the little annoying thing poking at them, like constantly poking at them, which I will continue to do because you took something away of value from me and a lot of other people, something that meant something I don't bring up a lot is one of the reasons I really uber connected with Doctor Who was when my son was very, very young. Right. So, And when he started getting into it, my son, of course, is special needs, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's on the spectrum, we'll just say, but it's very, very functional, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
sometimes emotional connection is very hard for him.
Sure.
Who was something he emotionally connected with, like smiles on his face, laughter, a couple of tears, joy. You know, and with kids who are on the spectrum, if you get to them early, right, and you get to these connections, you could almost work them out to where they start to come out of it. It doesn't work all the time, and it's just how it worked with my kid. But we started getting through to my kid, and it helped. It helped. I mean, of course, there was occupational therapy and everything else we did at the school, but me and him sitting down with his brother, watching Doctor Who for hours at a time, sometimes communicating with him, talking to him, getting through to him, made a huge change. And it emotionally connected with me. And that's a moment I'll never forget as a dad. And that moment was ripped away by somebody's petty effing agenda. And I think about the thousands of other moments like that were ripped away just because the BBC felt like doing something, and not even and because Chris Chibnall felt like doing something. That's what I think about, and that's why I keep coming back and talking about it. And it's not a little thing to me. So when I heard Chris Chibnall was on board with Jodie, I knew it would be shit. Like, I just knew it would be shit. I've watched his episodes. They sucked. So the day she was announced, I've told this story before. I had a room that was covered in only Doctor Who figures. That's all. It was a Doctor Who room.
Yeah.
I ripped everything down in a fucking rage because my son was upset. My son saw the announcement and said, I'm done with the show, Dad. And I'm like, what motherfucker? And here we are. It sucks.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yep. It really is.
But that's you hit the right thing there. The worst thing about this all is it's a philosophy within the BBC's, a petty, pathetic, bigoted philosophy within the BBC that's torn this all down. We need X percent of these. We need X percent of those. I don't know what is more. I don't know what can be described as any more racist and bigoted than that. When you're literally working out percentages of demographics to have in your company, it's insanity. Oh, we need more women working at the BBC. Do they want to?
Yeah.
Do they want to? We need more women in executive positions. Do they want to be in executive positions? Are you purposely holding them back from executive positions? Or, as you normally see, people get pushed up the chain into those positions. People who aren't ready for those positions because they want them to fill those positions to fill those percentages. You know, why are there more female nurses than male nurses? Because women are more gravitate more towards that sort of role, that almost sort of maternalistic role. That's why you have much more female nurses as opposed to male nurses. Men and women are different.
Yep.
Very, very different. Men are different than other men. We are very different than each other. We have shared interests, but we could probably sit here and go through everything that we feel differently about. And it'd be a list as long as your arm.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have a whatever is philosophy, whatever is a policy at the BBC to fit people into percentages is a fucking disgrace.
It is. And it's so effing racist in every way. So, okay, because what if you're the part of the 15% of black people that you're hired I mean, there's a couple ways you could look at that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hiring 15%.
One you can look at it as well.
Yeah. Like what if you get a bunch of black people that would be really good at this job, and then you're at the point where like, well, we only said we'd hire 15%. That's a problem.
But what if you said, excuse me, did I just get this role because I'm black?
Mm-hmm.
Or did I get this role because I'm good enough? Or did I get this role because it fit your percentages?
So you can look good. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You never know why you were hired.
That would suck. I mean, you'd be hired like back in the back of your mind. That would always mess with you.
And that's why that is why the meritocracy works. The meritocracy works because it's non-discriminatory. Because it only works off your experience, your work ethic, your skills.
Yep.
And so all you need is a piece of paper with them on. That's all you need. And if that go, boom, they've got the skills. You could have 98% black people. They'd be through that because if those 98 people were the most qualified, boom, they got the job. But when you have these dumb, stupid, pathetic, bigoted policies in place like the BBC, that's when you end up with shite like this. That's why you end up with shoehorned, nowhere episodes that comprise of one white woman, one white male, one gay white pansexual male, one Asian female, one black heterosexual male, one old white heterosexual male. It's box ticking of an extraordinary. Oh yeah. Sorry, the one gay Asian female.
Yeah. Gay Asian female.
It becomes a joke.
It does.
It just becomes a fucking joke. It's like you're playing diversity bingo. And you've just got a card and you're just going to make sure that your box is ticked. I've got a fucking diversity bingo. It's not natural and it doesn't feel natural. And when it doesn't feel natural, it starts to feel stupid. That doesn't mean there's not a place for gay people or people of different colors. Not at all. But when you cram so many into so small a place, when we know and live in countries that don't have those sort of percentages, then you look stupid and it looks ridiculous. And that's how it's going to come across. And that's not a bigoted or a racist or a transphobic thing to say. You have tried so hard to be woke that you end up doing what that stupid referend did yesterday. Where instead of just saying, God bless America, amen, like everyone probably does, he says, God bless, or the one God that's worshipped by many under the different names of the Allah and amen. It's just like
they said all women. He said
amen and a women.
Oh my God, we're doomed. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, I'm just gonna move into the country. You're all on your own. You have no idea how angry I am. As is fine. That's from Benjamin Flensborg for 500 Danish krona. I have a little bit of an idea how angry you are. Maybe, Benjamin. I mean, I can relate. It's the anger from this episode. I was not there at the beginning of the episode. I think I was texting Az in the group. I'm like, I'm kind of bored right now. And then I'm like, what the fuck? What was that? And then I lost my shit.
I think our text is something along the lines of, my God, this is so boring. I'm so bored.
Yep.
Pretty much how the conversation goes. What is this shit? I'm 40 minutes in. Nothing's happened.
Yep.
That's pretty much what our texts were together.
And then that conversation, I'm like, well, I mean, at least I have something to talk about now. But this is, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Doctor Who put up the tweet with the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker standing in front of all the older doctors saying, have you ever been held back by who you were before? I mean, that's not an accident. Yeah. Oh, you didn't see that? Oh,
no.
That's an actual tweet from Doctor Who. I will share it with you.
You have got to be kidding me.
Nope. I got to dig for it, but give me just a moment. I will find it.
Show called again? The what's it called? The not The Pursuit. What's it called? The it's a good show. So Bradley Walsh's show, his quiz show, did better ratings than Doctor Who on Christmas Day.
It did. And the other reason Doctor Who was trending on oh my God, look at this. Oh, you got to look at this fan art. This is like, this kind of says it all.
That's another pursuit, the chase.
This says it all right here before I get to that other tweet. Oh.
And that was on Christmas Day, was it? Good on him.
Oh my God.
Nice shite.
Orange Man is the new black. Orange Man Bad is the new black. Is that what we're doing? I don't know. That's terrible.
So we were also, we were meant to believe that the Doctor was locked up for God knows how long while only 10 months had gone past on Earth. That didn't come across. That didn't come across at all.
No, they said that she had been in there for decades. Again, it was just a line in passing. Doctor Who tweets are getting like 700 likes, 1,000 likes. It's pretty bad. I'm still scrolling and looking for this because it came early, mid-December. It was quite the statement. But I made a whole video on it, and the video did pretty well, by the way. Oh God!
I'll show this though to you, Gary.
What was that?
I'll show that to you though.
Show me this.
This is Ram Jamoran.
Oh my God! Holy shit! There we are. Here it is. I knew I'd find it.
Oh my God, that is the official Doctor Who account. Have you ever been limited by who? What the fuck?
Yep. I think Father Christopher Miller pipes in. I see two people in this poster that shouldn't be there. This is a Catholic priest. I love it. Is it the two women? Yes, I cannot give birth because I am male. What? I don't even know what that one means. Oh, do you believe this shit? This is the Doctor site.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Doctor. Fuck you, BBC. Go fuck yourself. Defund the BBC, folks. Why? Of course, it's about tearing down the past. It's about tearing down the patriarchy and the white male colonialism. What does she want? Does she want fucking reparations?
Well, I like how Bill Burr put it, because a lot of people have put it out there. It's this whole modern intersectional feminism is women finding a way to be a marginalized person when they're the majority on the planet. And the most privileged thing on the planet is a blonde, blue-eyed, white woman, and both sides of the pond. Police. Little Karen running around there, Dr. Karen. Yeah, speaking of which, I did get a cease and desist. I can't show, I'll show my tweet. I can't show the letterhead from the law firm because I don't know if they're in on it or if they're innocent. And if they're innocent and somebody put a fake cease and desist on their letterhead, they might be kind of pissed about that. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in it. I think it's just a troll. This is fake, by the way. It's completely fake.
Email.
They sent it to my email. Now you can send a cease and desist in a lot of ways. So that is possible. We talked to my lawyer on this, and my lawyer's response was, because like my lawyer wanted to know if I actually said anything offensive, and my wife said he calls her Karen a lot, and my lawyer's response was, well, it's such a Karen move to complain about being called a Karen.
Speak to his solicitor about you.
Yeah. It's solicitor over there, right? It's not counselor. It's solicitor.
Yeah, solicitors over here.
Oh, that's a prostitute over here, but you know.
That's soliciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
After ignoring, I did ignore an email. I did. After ignoring our previous notice requesting you cease and desist any videos which feature our client, Jodie Whittaker, you have gone on to post yet another video which references her in a demeaning manner. At this point, we would encourage you to seek legal representation, as we will be pursuing a case for defamation in defense of our client. Yours sincerely, Karen.
What defamation?
I said lovingly call her Dr. Karen. I did say she couldn't act. She wasn't very good at the acting part. I don't think
opinion.
That's subjective opinion, right? So, yeah.
I mean, this is fake, but
it's fake.
These people are fake. Did you the email that they used? Did it correspond to the firm?
No. It's so and so for it. It wasn't so and so at firm.com. It was so and so at consultant.com.
Okay, so it's absolutely bullshit.
Total bullshit. Lady Gridmaster was on it, and my wife and the lawyer were on it. And yes, I have. If you get over 50,000 subscribers, get a lawyer. Unsolicited advice.
Yeah. Make sure that you've got
somebody. Yeah, it's a good thing to have. I mean, he's not like at my house, but he's there if I need him. This is I mean, like, no, the most impressive part about this is somebody took the time to fake this. That's what
twice apparently.
Twice since the first.
Have you dug up the first one? Can you dig up the first one?
I can read it to you. Yeah. No problem. Let's read the first one.
Because this is such an in-depth cease and desist.
Yeah, I want to know what specifically they didn't like. That's the parts that I'm kind of wondering about. And desist. That one's from the.
Sounds like DSP. He's always saying, if I had money, I would sue all the people who defame me. And you're just like, no. If you had money, you wouldn't be able to, because they don't defame you. They just tell the truth.
Oh, I got to watch a DSP thing one of these days.
Oh my God. I watched a detractor stream last night. Unbelievable. The guy was absolutely salty and disgusting as fuck throughout the whole thing. He streamed for 2 hours, and at the end of the 2 hours, he didn't reach his tip goal. Because there's a tip goal.
Yeah.
He wants you to pay him $100 every stream. And he didn't reach his tip goal. And so he literally told off his audience.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he literally told off his audience for not reaching his tip goal, and then said, I'm going to continue streaming, and let's see if we can do it, shall we? He didn't do it. Spoiler alert.
Oh, I need that audio clip. Oh my God. Okay. This is long. I totally ignored this one. This is multiple paragraphs. Be ready.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, they sent it to they've got my address. It's my PO box. I have a new PO box in Rancho Bernardo. It's in San Diego, California. It says, Dear Mr. Beekler, over the last 12 months, we have been moderating your content. And some of your videos have been flagged to us for having defamatory comments in regards to our client. Your videos in which you discuss the popular British television show Doctor Who has gone from harsh criticism to blatantly becoming very personal towards the cast and creative team. Not only that, but you are now encouraging other people to abuse our client, not in terms of their work, but them as a person. Okay. I don't recall doing that.
No, I don't recall. None of us ever encourage you to attack somebody.
Nope.
Never. So liar, pants on fire.
Yeah. I don't add people on Twitter. I think the last time I did it was adding Disney to embarrass them with the Star Wars theory thing. But
that's completely different though.
Yeah, it is. That guy. No, Jodie Whittaker is not anybody I would directly contact or throw any of my content at all, ever personally. But let's continue. We believe the way in which you have spoken in regards to our client, Mrs. Whittaker. Is it Mrs. Whittaker?
All right.
Does she want to be? I thought she was.
I think she's married, yeah.
Kids. I don't know if she's married though.
Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. I forgot. Is now at the point where it would stand for defamatory content in a court of law. We have saved footage and also have transcripts. Oh, I got a backup out there. That's great. In regards to the way you have spoken of our client, at this point, we are holding back on taking court action. However, at this point, you just said at this point, we are requesting that you cease and desist any further content in which you speak of our client. Which one? The first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. Oh, that one. This is not only in a personal matter. Any mention of our client or any characters in which they portray will result in legal action.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. It continues. Defamation is a serious crime.
Otherwise, we'll sue you. No, it's not how life works, darling. Sorry, sweetheart. You're probably watching this stream, which is even funnier.
Yep.
I'm sorry, darling. That's not how life works, sweetie. People allow their opinions, and I'm sorry that it might have hurt yours, your little fifis. Gary can say what the fuck he wants about that shit actress.
I think we might have gotten under somebody's skin a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Defamation is a serious crime and should not be taken lightly at this point. Okay. Which point am I supposed to be at this point? You said at this point in the last paragraph, at this point now, but at this point, we are urging you to seriously think about the actions you take following this caution. We also
I'll tell you why this is all bollocks.
Oh yeah.
They don't cite any legal recourse under because if you're a lawyer, under article such and such of such and such act, paragraph such, you're in breach of such. There's no citations anywhere.
No. And a lawyer wouldn't say at this point 3 times in 2 paragraphs. Just saying.
But you would, wouldn't you, sweetheart?
Yeah. We also represent other clients who are involved within Doctor Who and have had even more personal comments made by yourself. This could end in several charges if escalated, if escalation is needed. Anyone can criticize a piece of media. However, to do it in such a way that you incite, or should I say obsess over executing
now.
What was that?
They're getting into opinion now that they've turned into opinion instead of fact.
Yep.
They've got their fifis have got the better of them. They got mad. They got mad as they've been typing.
They can't help themselves. Should I say obsess or executing it so personally is very unprofessional and dangerous. Whoa. Never said this was a professional organization.
But it is dangerous.
dangerous. Oh, that's right. If any harm has come to our clients and it's linked back to something in which you had indicted in your videos or indicated, sorry, in your videos, you would not only be charged for defamation, but hate speech as well.
Oh, darling, can you send me an email, please? These are awesome.
These are brilliant. Please be aware of the words in which you use and the intention behind them. Even if it is for profit, it could still cause serious harm. Failure to act on this caution will result in legal action. Yours sincerely, Karen. From Karen and Associates.
Please don't hurt our Fifi's, Karen.
I'll forward you the email, dude.
This is Karen.
I'll forward you the email. It's hilarious. And the fact, the fact that I spent even a minute on, talking to my lawyer about this, which cost me, thankfully nothing. But yeah, it's an insane world we live in, folks. We're talking about Doctor Who here. For $50 from Sarah B. Hail Gary, hail Az. So happy to celebrate with you both. This is absolute fabulous news. Could this be the beginning of the end of the abominable Dr. Y? That would be fantastic way to kick off 2021. God bless you both. And the real BBC, which is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time. # RIP Doctor Who. Az.
Got a great little thing together.
What do you got tomorrow? You want to tease?
We haven't been shipping in the UK, so I'm bringing the news. Fuckity bye. Malcolm is doing his Malcolm.
Was that on Twitter? I gotta retweet that. That is fantastic.
So yeah, my comics will be back in circulation for the next episode, but I'm gonna bring lots of sexy articles for us to discuss. So we're gonna have a good.
I'm gonna catch up on. You're gonna get an exclusive. My thoughts on Star Trek Discovery over the last 4 weeks that I haven't covered.
Oh, nice. So yeah, I'm gonna get my review out tomorrow. I think I've promised.
So yeah, I'll get caught up. Because I am not caught up. So, God, 4 episodes in a row. It's going to be like carving my eyes out with a spoon.
Dude, you'd die.
I would die. I might die. And, well, my oldest son is here. The rest of the family is gone. So, I'm going to read some super chats. You good?
Yep.
Maybe. I'm going to read some super chats. I got a bunch of square ups. I've recorded a couple, and they're going to be spread out. So please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live. That's where all the live streams go. That's where all the square ups are. And if you don't mind subscribing to 3 Nerdrotic channels, there is Nerdrotic Daily, which I run with Perry Chan. And he has been doing God's work over there. Perry Chan is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Love Perry Chan. He's been great for Friday Night Tights. He's a good friend to everybody out there. Nice guy, by the way, too. Is
lovely.
As edgy as he can be in his videos, he is like one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet. And of course, subscribe to Heel versus Babyface. The link is in the description. Subscribe early, subscribe often. Make a new account, subscribe there too.
Yeah, I'm racing towards 259k. So
that is brilliant. You're going to be at 260 soon. Yeah, everything started moving again. Isn't it weird? It's weird how it all just got like a switch got turned on.
Beginning of January, beginning of December.
Yeah.
Do you know what got switched off though?
What?
In January, fucking making any money.
Oh yeah. That's
Whee!
A
lot of live streams in January.
Yeah, that's you got to either it last year I had Doctor Who, so it was fine.
Yeah.
And what we got, Batwoman at the end of the month.
Got Batwoman at the end of the month. WandaVision.
Yeah.
It's the end of the month as well. Season finale of Discovery this week. Yeah, I've got my live streaming like big segment coming up.
Oh, the season, whoa. The season finale of Discovery is this week?
Yeah, this Friday, season finale.
Lord, I'm so behind on this shit. I gotta have my season review ready too. I got work to do, folks. I got fucking work to do.
I want to tell you something, and I can't tell you something, but it's so funny.
Oh, just fucking tell me. I don't care.
Okay, but it's just too funny. I have to tell you. At one point in the episodes upcoming, they have to give the captaincy of the end of Discovery to Tilly.
What?
Okay, that's funny enough as it is. Trust me, the circumstances are insanity, and she's captain for 12 minutes before the ship's taken.
Oh, that's like the Doctor when she first took over the TARDIS. She fucking crashed it. Yeah. Fucking A, man. Love themselves. Oh, I was supposed to get my Mandalorian review out before Star Trek Discovery. I might be able to do that.
I hear there's a mythical Picard video.
Oh, that's it keeps getting pushed aside. It's like I'll work on it for a couple hours, then a Star Wars news comes and Doctor Who news comes, and then it gets forgotten like for 2 weeks, and then I get back on it. And now the Doctor Who review, which is doing great, by the way. Thanks everyone. The Wonder Woman review. Everybody's telling me they want more reviews. Okay, you'll get them. I can't do news videos, so I'll just have to do more live streams, which is fine.
Right. Those are my two biggest performing videos as well.
Yep. The Mandalorian reviews, it's gonna, it's gonna, half the people will agree with me and half the people will be pissed off. That's the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be honest. It's gonna be honest. It's a great 10 minutes with Luke. I'll admit it. I wasn't emotionally connected to it, but that's a great the moment of the year for pop culture, without a question. Shit sent a wave through all of pop culture, through all of genre. Star Trek took notice of it. Doctor Who probably took notice and then ignored it. But it really is a moment that could have started out the year of the fan, hashtag the year of the fan. But there's problems with the show. It's still good. I still understand why people like it. Hanging in with Gare Bear and my favorite spaz as. Are you a spaz? Says Darth Bredicus for $2. I don't think you're a spaz.
We can all be a spaz at times.
Yeah, I'm a spaz. Oliver McLaughlin for $5. It's cold in Ireland right now, but I'm feeling warm. Best news this year so far. LOL. Is it too late? Though it is too late. But you know what? I still want her fired. I'll admit it. I want a scalp. I think the fandom menace, the fandom are old. By the way, it's an American saying. It's probably not very politically correct, but it just means that whether you win or not, you get something, and it's somebody gets taken out for the offense.
Yeah.
And
it's like, sure, we can get rid of AIDS, but we've still got cancer.
Yep.
So we need both gone to even have any chance, and we can't even say that the person who'd take over is going to do anything different. They might have to work to BBC guidelines of 3 fucking wheelchairs and 558 LGBT1.
Right. Oh God.
And that's just in the TARDIS.
The TARDIS will be a wheelchair next time. That'll be interesting. The original doc for £5. Whatever happens next isn't important. The stars need to perfectly align for us to get a proper Who back. That isn't very likely. Happy New Year, Gary and Az. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
I mean, they're idiots over there. I don't understand the BBC. Never understood. You could make specials forever with the old doctors. Just get an old doctor back, or do an animated thing. Or you got Paul McGann sitting there who would probably do anything you asked.
He's white male. They very specifically made a white male with white guilt tear down all the white male doctors. This is a racist act.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bigoted act that they did here. You didn't have to destroy that to build your future. but they chose to do so. And then they chose to replace it by tokenizing people of different colors. Didn't give them a single solitary line to say. Not a single solitary line to say. Just tokenize them by showing them off like fucking trophies at a dog show. Because these people are the true bigots. They are the true racists, the true sexists, the true misanthropists, the true misogynists. Because they can't see past color, gender, race, sexuality.
No, and that's their entire life. They wake up in the morning and it's like everything is, God, what a terrible way to live like that. I mean, you're always looking, it's almost paranoia. I mean, just looking over your shoulder, seeing everything like that. I mean, you're individual people. We're not a bunch of black people aren't a hive mind. Women aren't a hive mind. They're individuals. All that pronoun shit, just give me your name. That's all I care about. I don't care about your pronouns.
It's full of white people, male and female, black people, gay people, trans people in the chat right now. And they're there because they get treated like normal human fucking beings.
Because they are.
Exactly.
You're not something that could be
some trophy, some commodity to be abused and used. Like I said, when it gets to that point, when you have a TARDIS where you've got white female, gay Asian female, gay or pansexual white male, black, when you get to that ridiculous sort of box ticking, that's when it looks and feels absurd, because it is absurd. But they gotta get their boxes ticked.
Yep. And the episode came off that way. I mentioned it in my review. It just feels dated now. It feels dated. It's old. Doesn't Doctor Who look tired?
Yeah.
The original doc for £5. Whatever happens isn't important. I read that. Thank you. Jake D, the great Jake D. Jake D's a member. Jake D has a channel. Jake D's a good friend. He's a wrench out there. We love Jake D. Go check out his channel. He just did a Cobra Kai review. Go check out his Cobra Kai review. While I'm thrilled on this news, it's empty without the sacking of Chibi. He even used the proper term for a guy from Texas. That's pretty good. Hail Gary and Az. Hail. Speaking of our friends in the chat who might not, you know what? One of the many groups, the diverse chat we have of individuals, Alpha Omega Records for £5. What's up? This paradox is too confusing. I'm so happy Karen is gone, but I have no interest in watching the next Doctor at all. The retcon is required. It is. I agree. I said it last night, and it's like, you don't want to think about it because fuck, it's the continuity that I loved about this show. It's the mystery that I never wanted answered. I love the little bits that they gave us,
when you have to explain something like that, you don't enhance your product, you weaken it.
Yep.
Because now we have 12 wonderful doctors. Now we don't.
No, we don't.
Now we just have 12 doctors of unspecified order who are intermingled with another 258 million regenerations. There's the simplicity of the Doctor's story of running away. Madman in a box. Just turning up here, turning up there, helping people. That's the beauty of it. You don't need, it's like fucking in Solo, where the guy's just like, name, Han, surname, don't have one. Oh, you're on your own, I'll call you Han Solo. I wanted to fucking kick my TV into pieces.
Yep.
That is the writing of a dumb person. And when Chibnall did what he did
Very
and
nice.
explained, tried to create this explanation of the Doctor while creating a new mystery, but where did they come from? Fuckety bye, as Malcolm Tucker would say.
I gotta watch that show.
Oh, it's so good.
Got to watch that
You
show.
love the thick of it. You would die laughing.
I'll watch it. I love this picture. I'm just gonna pop it up. Used to be my little header on Facebook forever. You just mentioned Madman with the box.
In the Loops, the film, Rusty.
I fucking love this picture.
It's beautiful.
It's what Doctor Who used to be.
That's the Doctor, that.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And all gone like tears in the rain.
Well, that's Blade Runner. We get Breath on a Mirror.
Breath on a Mirror. Yeah.
He totally nicked the ending of Blade Runner, but instead of Tears in the Rain, turned it to Breath on a Mirror. But hey, if you're gonna steal, you might as well steal from something fucking crazy good.
Henry Liam for $10. 1 year of supporting you. Thanks. Wow. Thanks, Henry, for everything this year. Appreciate you guys. Also, come to Colorado for a meetup. Once we're free to do stuff, I will be doing a lot of meetups. I missed that's one of the. I was just talking to my members about that today. I went to a meetup in New York and I went to one in Comic-Con, and as we will fly you out once it's all happening, we will get you out here.
We went into lockdown today.
I know you did, and we're indefinitely
6 weeks.
6 weeks. We are indefinitely here. It's unfucking believable.
But, they say it's likely going to last up until Easter.
Oh yeah, March. We're going to open back up. They're going to start like loosening things up in March, folks. I mean, this was, once winter is over.
But by the way, Gary, before I watched the show, coincidentally, I watched 11's regeneration speech to 12. I love it. I think it's great regeneration.
It is. And we watch these regenerations. So how are they going to fit doctors in between regenerations unless they're going to say forgotten regenerations, or that regeneration went to somebody else and then the memory was connected to another white guy? That's something I brought up in my video. But yeah, they don't care. They just don't care. They're going to make it work because they think it's better for the show, and it's better for you because we can create more conversations.
Do you want to bring those ratings back up?
Yeah, I could.
It's so good for the show. You've tanked it to the lowest ratings, not just of New Who, but some of the lowest ratings of Doctor Who's whole fucking career. That's how good. That's how great your message has been. When the guy, remember there's that flock of killer birds on the beach and they just went outside for a sit down so the guy could tell him that he was gay?
Yep. My favorite one is in Resolution when the police officer tells the doctor he's gay and dies, but never tells her his name.
We should start a hashtag because of Yaz and just say the BBC are queer baiting. The queer baiting.
They are. That's what they're doing. The queer baiting Yaz and the Doctor. We'll stare at these wonderful ratings that, by the way, even with the accumulated number, this was, I believe, the 5th or 6th lowest rated Doctor Who episode in its history.
It's the consolidated. The 4 screen doesn't count. It's the consolidation, the one in the middle. The 4.55, that's the final.
Yep.
And I think that was something like the 3rd or 4th lowest of all time.
Yep. Lowest of all time.
Yikes!
Like Anna Folkenstall. Thank you, Anna Folkenstall, for 10 Chilean. Is it Czechoslovakian, I think, for 10 Czechoslovakian pesos. Oh, no. But she's in Switzerland, so it's Swedish pesos. Greetings from Switzerland, boys. What do you think? Who do you think will replace Dr. Karen, if even? Still sad Cumberbatch wasn't going to be one of them. He would have been perfect. He would have been. If he wasn't Sherlock, he would have been.
He would have been right up there. He would have been, yeah. Great quirky actor. Too big now. Here's a question then, Gary. Fantasy casting for the next Doctor.
Oh, it straight up has to be a handsome dude. A handsome young dude with a hot companion. Yeah, I'm going there. I would say Aidan Turner from Poldark is good. But if we want to go, I mean, we could go older too. Older is not bad. But if you want a young, I thought he would have been really good. I always forget his name, but the operative who was in 12 Years a Slave, so he's too big of a star now. The operative from Serenity would have been very, very good.
Chigwell Gafford.
Yeah, he would have been good. I think he would have.
He's way too big.
Yeah, he's way too big now.
But I do like him. He's awesome in Serenity.
Yeah, he's so good.
As well. It's good in Kinky Boots.
Yep, and I think he's got that. When he was in Serenity, he showed he can do that otherworldly kind of just because like there's a manicness to the Doctor, and there's also an intimidation to the Doctor. Like you're dealing with the god who's trying to like be cool.
Yeah.
And there's something you never got from Jodie, but that's something we should probably I don't know who would yours be?
I would say I can't remember how to pronounce his surname correctly. Richard Iwala. How do you pronounce his surname?
Iwata? Is it Richard Iwata?
Richard, what is he called? Richard. I gotta get the name right. Come on, chat, help me out here with my surnames.
How do you spell it?
Richard Iowadi. Richard Iowadi.
Richard Iowadi. Yeah. Oh, from
the IT crowd.
Yeah, everybody's been. Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be very good
because he's really kind of out there himself. Russell Brand would be a very interesting Doctor.
He would be an interesting Doctor. No, I like this. I think this is the guy that they have been bringing up this name for a long, long time. I think he'd be good. I have to think about it. Like it's been so. I used to think about it all the time. Like, oh, they make a great Doctor, and I haven't for.
Yeah, I think he might be a bit too big. Isabella says he's a bit too big. I think probably Noel Fielding. I always see Noel Fielding as a poor man's Russell Brand.
And I know a lot of people. The guy who plays Lucifer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's been in Doctor Who. Yep. He was in the season 3 finale. He was the Doctor.
Yep.
And he was Daleked down. But when they redid the time, he was alive because she phones him up at the hospital, doesn't she?
Yep. Oh, Martha Jones.
Martha. Yeah, Tom Ellis. That's what.
Tom Ellis. Thank you. I was trying to look that up. I actually bought a Martha Jones action figure. I went Christmas shopping in the most depressing mall. It was empty, but there was a comic shop in there.
Yes.
We had old Doctor Who figures.
Yes.
I had most of them, right? But I needed another 1/6 scale 12-inch Martha Jones because when I brought her here, her jacket like melted in the heat. And I found it here in America for cheap. I was stoked.
Do you want to buy I know this guy who's got a bunch of Force Awakens Star Wars figures.
You do? How does he have a bunch of them? Like did he go in, this guy? Did he really jump in and said, "Oh, I'm all about this"?
He thought this will be a good investment, like a fucking wanker.
Yep. Yeah.
It's got a bunch of Rogue One ones as well, which aren't.
Well, what's funny is the Phantom Menace figures were looked at as junk at one time, like absolute junk, and they probably have some collectability now because there's a bunch of kids who like that movie. There was a bunch of adults who hated it when it came out. So I don't know. I have hang on to them, dude. You never know. You can always donate them.
Was that person you as? Someone said, yes, that person was me.
Hey, did you get some of the ships or something? I mean, there might be something of value in there. Did you get a Rose Tico? No, she wasn't in the Force Awakens. Did you get a Rey? Do you have a Rey? Tell me you own a Rey. Admit it. Oh, you own a Rey. It's got more life than the actual actress. So that's where you got that.
It's certainly more animated. I think I've got 2 Reys. I think I got 2 different versions of Rey from The Force Awakens.
Oh.
I think there's 2 separate versions.
Somebody, okay, if it's confession time, somebody sent me Doctor Who Series 11, and I don't get rid of gifts that people like took the time to give me.
Uh-huh.
I don't give them away. I don't re-gift them. I keep them forever because they took the time to give me this thing. So I have not destroyed it. It's actually, I have it. It's at the bottom of my CD, my Blu-ray case down there. I was supposed to review the special features. I couldn't do it.
They got you Whittaker?
They got me Whittaker. Yeah, I got it. I own it. I can't get rid of it. You know.
Have you got any Mikey Spock action figures? I don't think they've ever made an Mikey Spock action.
Got one. Hang on, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I've seen your Mikey Spock action figure. Knock on wood and all that. Please look at those ratings. Jesus wept. The face is just perfect.
It's so perfect. Somebody send me this. It's beautiful. Yeah, okay, those ratings are such shit, and if you look at it compared to even I love one of the best videos you did, dude, was breaking down those Capaldi reviews and showing that the accumulated numbers, people were actually watching Capaldi more. They were just watching it live. That was good. That was good.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
I did a video, and then somebody contacted me, and they explained how the ratings worked, overnights versus consolidated, and so they said, the way that they factor in the ratings now is actually the consolidated, which comprises of your overnights plus 7 days of iPlayer, or if you recorded. And then that after 7 days is your end figure. There's also a 4-screen, which is after 21 days, but that doesn't count. So I was like, brilliant. So I was like, could you compile these figures? And he was like, yeah. So I said, could you? Because I went through all the figures and realized that Capaldi's figures were better than Whittaker's, and quite happily so. So I went back to him and said, look, because he said, get in contact if you need any help with this. And could you tabulate this for me in a graph? And he's like, no problem. So he goes off and he tabulates it in a graph for us for the videos, and so you can very concisely see how well Capaldi was actually performing against Whittaker. And sure, his overnights were lower, but much more people were watching in the 7-day, which clearly showed that they wanted to watch. But they just didn't want to watch on the night. So maybe there was another program on the night that they wanted to catch live as opposed to Doctor Who. Or they were just like, no, it's fine for me to record and I'll just watch it during the week before the next episode.
Yep.
But that was part of the final figures, and final figures are better than Whittaker's.
And we didn't even bring up in the conversation that, again, this is on Sunday. This is I don't know, but it's a much better day in the States to watch TV. Saturday is a dead zone. People in the United States do not sit at home and watch TV at night or during the day, at least not in a lockdown. Oh yeah. And we're in a lockdown. And the ratings went down.
Yeah.
With Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Something the fans have wanted forever. And this was the Doctor meeting the captain. Remember Captain Jack last time? It was cheap ass fucking just filmed on the side and they threw him in there. What
You
a
know, they were very careful not to have any gendered conversation.
yep.
And
Oh, no flirting, nothing. Yeah, it was.
Dude, I just watched an episode of the Cobra Kai where he's on the phone because kids are signing up to the dojo. He's on the phone and he's like, "Yeah, we take girls as well as boys." What do you mean they're not either? What the hell are you talking about? Crazy. The way they just take the piss out of
that is good. I can't wait to watch it, dude.
Funny.
Can't wait to watch it. Apparently the Babylon Bee put out a headline. The new president promises nationwide mask mandate and woman date. Oh God. Thank you, Father Christopher Miller. Father is all the good stuff, dude. He's so good. Darth Marcus. The blonde on High Republic looks like Jodie. She does.
Karen, she'd like to speak to your Sith overlord.
Space Karen. That's what she is. New fees space plumber 45. Welcome to the proto molecule level. Thank you. Thank you again, Sarah B. And
to share that.
Yeah, Alpha Omega Records says the way they announced Dan was weird. It was really just is he really just a companion? Also, Chin Balls has to go too, or Jodie going won't offer much hope. It doesn't offer much listen, you gauge what your hope is. Don't let me dash what your hopes are. But the doctor is still the doctor is no longer William Hartnell is no longer the first doctor. William Hartnell is no longer the first doctor. And that is a huge, that's not one I'm just going to let go. Hail Gary, it's been a minute. Glad to be back with the great news. Bye, Jodie. You will not be missed. You're next, Chris, says Jodie Bowie. What's up, Jodie Bowie, for $5? Yeah, long time no see. Yeah, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. I know a lot of people were singing that and thinking that was inappropriate. We're just talking about metal. Yeah, it's appropriate. Fuck it. Timothy Cooper for $4.99. Hail Gary, been a long fan. I've been in recovery as well for 7 years as of December 4th. I got the same amount of years. I'd like to become a member, but there is no join button. You must be on an iPhone, Timothy. For some reason, it's glitchy with iPhones. You have to go to a desktop to do it. And that's a YouTube thing. That's lame.
I put the membership link also in the chat, in the description.
Oh, that's a good idea. There's a membership link.
Well, yeah, you get the join. You click join, then you get the link for join. You might want to share what I've put, Gary, because
yeah. A problem being, could you? I see you're the first mod I see. Could you put the join link in the chat, please? Thanks. Or Chris Persia or Mark Lorzeth there. I see you guys too. Thanks. Big hand for the Modrotics, by the way. Great job, guys and gals. Work for nothing. Thankless job. 14th Doctor played by Nerdrotic. I am not British. I wouldn't even let myself play it. Darth Bredicus for $2. I want this show to stay. Just get rid of the idiot Brits who are running it right now. I want Brits to run it, though. Brits need to run it. It is an English show that needs to stay English. I need to not
the whole BBC then.
What was that?
We'd have to get the whole BBC.
Yep.
That's unfortunately that's how it's, because Chibnall got hired by somebody that wanted Chibnall to do what he did.
Yep. Piers Vanger and I forgot. There's a woman I leave out of that too. I need to remember. I need to commit her name to memory because she is complicit.
Hey, Wenger needs to fuck off.
Yep. Techno Babbler for $5. Katie as Starbuck was amazing because she was such a flawed character. Flaws equals interesting. She was a mess of a person, and that's why we loved her. Yep. I took a lot of flack for saying non-threatening person of color over and over again in my video. I would just like to let you know that that's exactly how they cast him and wrote the character of Rugazi in Revolution of the Daleks. They wanted to make that's how they write. Your boy Zach was the first one to point this out or bring it to my attention anyway, through comic books in 2017, through all of his great reviews, by calling all the black characters were either non-threatening or they were soulful saints.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the bigotry of low expectations, being afraid to write characters, white males being afraid to, and white females being afraid to write characters who might not look like them with any complexity out of fear of being accused of something on Twitter. That's being a coward. That's being creatively bankrupt. And it's being a bigot, by the way.
Yeah.
Bigot.
Watch the Equalizer in the trilogy and the sequel.
Yep.
Where Denzel takes over the lead role. Then you can see what they can do.
God damn, that first one's good. I haven't seen the second one, but I saw the first one.
Right.
Sarah B for $5. I keep finding myself grinning and starting to sing "Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead." But then I stop myself because that would be both cruel and cowardly.
Oh,
that's a good point there, Sarah B.
Never be cruel, never be cowardly.
That's
which is
true.
ironic, really, because the very next person that came along was both.
Yep. Exactly. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's a little cruel to come out in an interview with Vulture right before you're going to start your job and insult the majority of the audience, which wasn't just all white males. That was a huge assumption on somebody's part who did no fucking research into the fucking show. So what the hell would she know? She wouldn't know how people she didn't watch the fucking show. How does she know how people watch Doctor Who? All I know is, and this is the only gauge I had when I did my viewings, my screenings at the comic shop, it was everybody. I mean, everybody, a huge mix of people. And it was fun. That's all I know. It was fun. Hiram for $2. All you who accepted new BSG deserve new Who. Oh, there's people who still mad about new BSG. Here's the difference. Hiram. It's a different universe. It's a different world. They didn't undo the first one. The first one still exists. It's still a thing. You can still go and enjoy it. They made a new one in a different alternate universe. That's okay. Like Star Trek Discovery, if it existed in the Kelvin timeline, it would just be a shitty show. I wouldn't be that mad at it. I wouldn't care because it doesn't fuck with the original Star Trek. But no, they fucked with the original Star Trek, and that's where I come in. But yeah, there's some people who are just, I love both of those shows equally. Yeah. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Hidalgo for 2 Canadian pesos. Gina Carano as the 14th Doctor. Please hail, fellows. Probably the only female I would accept. She's not British though. Can't do it. Toe of Vecna for $5 Forget Brie Larson. I just found out about Alexander Daddario YouTube channel. She knows what the fans want. Uh-oh. I probably don't want to look at that. You know what that is?
You might want to share what I've got ready to share.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the. Oh.
I'm thinking Han Solo, but gay.
Oh no. What?
Jim and the High Republic.
I wasn't going to make a video on this shit.
But now there's nowhere to hide.
What the hell? What's his name?
Leox Gayashi. Gayashi.
Gay?
Leo Gay.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
I'm such a scoundrel.
Oh, Alexandra Daddario.
I gotta take it off the screen.
Oh, that's why she knows what the fans want. Alexandra Daddario kisses 2020 goodbye with a you know what show on a yacht. A nip show. Yeah, you know that's something we're not going to be looking up on the live stream, but by all means, FAP whenever you like. Yeah. Thanks, Tova Visenya for $5 Australian. She does know what her fans want. Jibby John for $5. I think the BBC needs to give up and hand the series over to Amazon. The Grand Tour is a good example of what people want thanks to Top Gear changes. I love Grand Tour. Absolutely love it. Top Gear was one of my favorite shows. And even though I did work in the car industry for many, many years, the auto industry, I fucking didn't care about, like, I had no passion for cars. I like having a cool car, but it's not anything I think about other than that. But I love that fucking show. It was funny as hell. The one where we went across Africa was so fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been following those boys all the way through Top Gear. So when they got sacked, I was mortified. And well, when Clarkson got sacked and the others left because he got sacked. But the BBC rid of Clarkson. The BBC had been wanting rid of Clarkson for a long time. And then Amazon just went snapsies, and Top Gear has never been the same since.
It's still on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have that redhead radio show host anymore, does it?
One season and then quit. He was awful. Chris Evans was he's a real gear nut in real life, but my God, he was dreadful on that show. Then Matt LeBlanc took over as main host for a couple of seasons, and then Matt left, and now it's kind of like just a bunch of guys selected by the BBC.
Selected by the BBC, but it's not anything interesting. I mean, like, nobody watched it for the fucking cars. Nobody gave a shit. I don't give a fuck about the fucking cars. The Source of the Nile episode was genius, dude. It was so fucking good. But no, it's Memeology always puts it in. My favorite, I don't remember what episode it was, is when Clarkson was driving that 3-wheel car with the single wheel in the back, and he took a hard turn and he kept fucking flipping the fucking car over. My God, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was laughing so fucking hard.
I always loved the races that they did, where Clarkson would be in a car, and then May and Hammond they would have to take public transport or something like that to get to the destination. I love the race episodes.
Yep.
Man, happy fucking days. Happy days.
Who had to build a motorhome? They had to build a motorhome, and they were all falling apart while they were driving. Those are so fucking good.
They all had to build a motorhome, but they're all shit.
Is there a place I can go watch old Top Gear that's not on motherfucking BBC? Netflix? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do tonight after I watch Cobra Kai. I'm just not gonna sleep anymore. It's such a bloody time. Let's keep those ratings up. Board Viking 28 for $5. Glad I waited for a review of Jodie's Doctor in name only. As a result, I've never seen an episode with her in it. Good Board Viking 28. That is a job well done. I think if I keep you from doing that, it preserves your Doctor Who experience. And you know what? The brand will thank me for it later. No, they won't, but they should. And Doomcock and everyone else who has talked about, I tried Bulls Trek. How could I forget Bulls Trek? Fucking Bulls Trek, man. By the way, subscribe to Bulls Trek. If you've never heard of this channel, he has a day job, so he kind of comes in and out when he can, but when he does, he drops fucking nuclear bombs. He's one of the best YouTubers out there. So the best description of Batwoman ever is overweight 8-year-old girl.
Yeah. I just died laughing at that.
I laugh every time I say it. It's so goddamn good.
Gotta wait a couple more weeks, 2.5 more weeks for that.
I'm jumping in on that train. I got nothing fucking better to do. Star Trek will be over. What have I got to do?
Bring a colostomy sack.
The fucking holidays. My Star Trek reviews are doing really good on Nerdrotic Live. I had to give it up. It's God, I just ran out of time. Lex fix Doctor Who. Hashtag hire Script Doctor. I think Script Doctor would do good, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for 2 Canadian pesos. What I would do is I would allow, Script Doctor's Canadian. So I think that almost allows you to write for Doctor Who.
Wow. The BBC, of course, with Stephen King's son. Told him to fuck off because he was American.
Yep.
Just wanted to write an episode. Done. Fuck off.
Peter Jackson wanted to direct an episode and they fucked him off. Peter Jackson wanted to direct an episode of Doctor Who with Peter Capaldi in it and they fucked him off. Full of tards over there.
BBC's
fucking tards.
Why do you think we've been systematically trying to get rid of them?
Yeah,
we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting traction.
You should be fired. You should never be hired in entertainment again if you fucked off Peter Jackson if he wanted to fucking record. I don't care what he wanted. Fly to New Zealand, film an episode with Peter fucking Jackson. Oh, what a bunch of time. Oh, we just couldn't make it happen. Really? You couldn't make it happen with Peter Jackson. Gary, you're wrong in not reviewing each episode of The Expanse. You do review the crap known as STD, but nobody watches. You say, get the word out yet, says Larry for $5. Larry, I did a review. Did you watch my first review? I did a live review right here on this channel, Larry. Did you watch? Unfortunately, I didn't have time for Star Trek Discovery. So and I also didn't have time for The Expanse. So, yeah, I ran out of time. There's only so much I can do in a day. I would love to help The Expanse, but as when they started this season, they said they're ending. So why would I want to help people who are going to end their show? And then when we asked if there's anything we could do to help the show, we got crickets. Watch The Expanse. I talk about it every week. Oh, look, it's John Steed, says Peppermint Oil Capsule for $2. Thank you. Sci-Fi Trek for $5. What if they did a parallel universe like they did in Green Inferno? They would have to re-air the last of the 12th Doctor, but I think it could work. I mean, if it's erasing it from this canon, I'm all for it. By the way, watch The Expanse. It's the best fucking sci-fi show on Earth right now. And it is on, I do reviews on the Inquisition every week, live with Doomcock. We talk about it every week on Sunday. I did a specific review for the first episode, and it was one of my lowest viewed episodes on Nerdrotic Live and one of my lowest viewed live streams here. I tried. But Larry, the answer is they failed when they didn't release The Expanse weekly for season 4. They lost the show when that happened. I said it when it happened, and now we're looking at it. And then they canceled the show right after that. What did I say, Larry? You were paying attention. What did I say? When they didn't release it weekly, you're going to come back and you're going to find out season 5 or 6 will be its last. That's exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, this live stream was supposed to be me reading complaints about The Expanse and The Boys being weekly. I will do that tomorrow, or no, day after tomorrow, Wednesday. And it's people whinging about the show being weekly, and they're complaining at first, and then we see how things turn out. You know, The Mandalorian is released weekly. How do you think things would have turned out for The Mandalorian if it was released all at once? If they just dropped it all at once? You would talk about Luke Skywalker, but you would get, would get lost? Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, the return of Boba Fett. None of that shit would be talked about as much as it is now because it's released weekly. So I'm right. I'm right on that one. I'm not the kind of person who says I'm right on shit all the time, but I'm right on this one. I know I'm right on this one. It's better for a TV show to be released weekly. You could always binge it later. Expanse fucked up by not doing it for season 4 when their entire, the 3 series before that were released weekly on a network. It was stupid. What if they did get a pair? Oh, I read that one. Hats off to the British Mr. Clean. Love you, buddy. Says Carson, Carolina for $5. That's sweet. Finn Jackson is a member at the proto-molecule level. Hail, Finn. Benjamin Flensborg, thank you for the 20 Danish krona for the donation. I appreciate it. The Silence for $10. World Undone, a hyper-violent zombie novel available on Amazon, says The Silent. Okay, let me check it out. I'm going to shout it out. Let's check it out. Oh, shit. You know what? They don't make my Mylite bags anymore that I like. They make Mylite 2s, and they're thick, but I like the really thin ones. They're called Mylites, and they stopped making them, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. What was that called again? See, dude, it's called World Undone. World Undone.
World Undone.
Dude, there's a lot of World Undones. Which one is it? Is it by... It's a zombie novel. Okay. World Undone, Story of the Great War, Finding God When Life Doesn't Make Sense. There's a, yeah. So when you have when you do a shout out like that, like I'll look for it, but you gotta tell me everything about the book. Is it a monster? No, that's not it. That's a Viz book. But yeah, tell me about the book. All right. Where am I? Jodie, who looks like Rob Williams from Mork and Mindy. Modalicious for $2. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The Ranting Brummy for 10 pounds. They have to get Joe Martin to step back into the role. For me, she was immediately engaging doctor. She gave us something genuinely exciting, different, and gruff. No nonsense. Gun-toting badass mama, says Ranting Brummy. Yeah, but no, it doesn't work for me. Female doctor doesn't work.
No, doctor's not a woman.
Doctor's not a woman. Doctor's a dude. Joe Martin, she was better than Jodie. Much better than Jodie, 1,000 times better. But I think we're kind of overpraising her because she was next to Jodie. I would look good next to Jodie. As far as
she's got nothing. She brings nothing to the table with a doctor. No.
Dag the Gnome for 10 Canadian pesos. I'll say it again. If they wanted a female Time Lord, they could have brought back Romana and explained that she missed the Time War because of the E-Space. Yeah, she was in E-Space. It was right there for them to bring her back. And she would have been great. You could have brought her back as anybody. You could have regenerated a bunch of women, and you wouldn't have to, like, because they're going to have to regenerate back into a man now. You would have had a female effing Time Lord that you could bring in more women in. I made this argument 2 years ago, right? When I was being called sexist and everything. I'm like, yeah, why not just use your female character, but fucking make her better? I don't know. Give her more episodes. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Don't shit on the original character.
Look, Michelle Gomez was awesome as the Master.
Yep.
She was absolutely phenomenal, and it was a great foil, and it was a great bait and switch. One that actually worked. And then to go straight to a female doctor afterwards, and it just doesn't work for the doctor. It could for the Master, because they're always going to be the foil of the doctor, but it just did not work.
And there was nothing leading into it, especially in Capaldi, when they established that the doctor has influence on his regenerations. And they established that when he chose that face. And listen, they might have established that before that. And I always had to preface this. There might be some Target book out there I haven't read, because there's a lot that might have established it. Okay, fine. But I'm talking about in the show, what I've seen.
Well, Matt Smith basically got Capaldi because of Deep Breath. When he got on the phone and he's like speaking to Clara on the phone, he's just like, is that me? And it's just like, yeah. He's like, did I get old? So he's implanting, I got old. Has he got white hair? Yeah, he's got, yeah. So he's implanted it into his head when he regenerates. So he's implanted his own regeneration into his brain.
Deep Breath was a pretty good episode. Season 8's good.
Amazing.
I think it's pretty good.
I love Deep Breath. Deep Breath oh God, Capaldi is so good in Deep Breath.
Oh, in the end, oh, he's great.
So many different sort of, you've got that crazy. Who's the guy with the eyebrows? He's really mad. It's like, look at every action. But he goes through that whole kind of like regeneration, tosis, whatever you want to call it, where he's trying to get his equilibrium back, and he's all over the place. But when he's down with Clara and he's still quite not there, and he looks like he runs away, and you're just like, holy fuck, the doctor can't run away. And then Clara gives that great little speech about, if you're who I think you are, then you're right beside me. And he's right beside her. And then right at the end where he looks into the camera.
Yep.
Chills when he looks into the camera. Fuck. Oh, I loved you, Capaldi. I loved you as the doctor. So good. So good. And then that great speech at the end was just like, I'm not your boyfriend, Clara.
Yep.
I never said you were. And he said, I didn't say that it was your mistake. And it's just like, beauty, It's just like, damn. Oh, God, it was so good. Deep Breath is amazing. Amazing episode.
Season 8 was good for me. I like season 8.
I'm going to watch Deep Breath.
Then it just goes to shit. Fucking, he's rolling around in Davros's fucking chair, and fuck, I hated that so much. I fucking hated that so much.
Sonic
finally did something with the fucking Daleks in Asylum of the Daleks. You actually made them kind of creepy. You made something interesting. You did something like they can scissor up a girl and make a Dalek. That's fucking horrifying. It's horrifying. They should do more of that. Yeah. And then they're like, oh no, I'm in the fucking oh, so fucking pissed. There's moments in 9 I liked. But
it's not Capaldi's fault. He was doing
no. He
the best he could with what he had.
He was great. The reason I stayed was for his performances. So or I would have been out. Because God, season 10 was insufferable. And whitewashing history, and then like Capaldi actually mentioning Trump by name. I'm like, don't do this. And not God, it's gonna look bad. I haven't watched season 10. I've only watched it once. It's the only Doctor Who season that, well, besides the Jodie shit, but that's not Doctor Who. I've only watched once. Jodie, they have to get, I already got that one. I'll say it again. If they want a female Time Lord, they should have brought back Romana. I read that one too. Roger Hayes, thank you for the thumbs up for $1.99. Apopha6 retracted the message. I'm sorry for $9.99, but thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. If you want to repeat it in the chat, just hit at Nerdrotic. Roger Haynes, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Newfie's Space Plumber 45 for 5 Canadian pesos. Hail from Newfoundland, Canada. And I think they might have the next Doctor be transgender, probably. Oh yeah, probably. For $5. Hi, gents. Where does series 10 fit into all of this? The dynamic between Capaldi and Mackie seemed to work. So where would you place it now?
It was a decent dynamic. I thought they had good chemistry together. Like I said, Capaldi could have chemistry with anything.
Yeah, I don't think she was a terrible companion aside always not okay. The argument is she doesn't remind us literally that she's a lesbian all the time.
Every episode.
She every episode she mentions something about being gay.
Yeah.
Like multiple times. So she doesn't go, I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. She does say that a lot, but she refers to being gay a lot. But that actress was fine. She had a lot of moxie. She had presence. She was funny. So she would have worked.
Female Time Lord, lady, whatever you want to call them. Why don't you bring the original Susan actress back?
Mm-hmm.
You put her in one episode of a mini series, and she regenerates at the end of the first episode into the main character.
Yep, that would be brilliant.
Boom. Or it starts off with her, and it starts off with her dying to regenerate into the main character for the show.
Who?
Susan who?
Susie who?
Susie
who?
Sue.
Susie who?
Sue.
Thank you again for the 500 Danish krona, Benjamin Flensborg, and Chris Persia retracted the message. Why'd you retract the message, Chris? What did you say? What did you say, you Canadian, you? That's a Canadian wrench, Chris Persia. Thank you for the 5 Canadian pesos. Moderators are not supposed to super chat. Green tuna fish for £5. Thank you. It just says poetry. Phantom Nerd UK for £5. Why have they forgot the most fundamental part when making that episode? Earth cannot make a Dalek, as Earth has no Dalek inium. Daleks are smart though. The Daleks are smart. They're proven that they are the most advanced technological race in the universe, so they could make something out of nothing.
Yeah, but how could
now out of a 3D printer? No, that's bullshit.
How could Gordon Goodbody? How could he suddenly go from a cyberneticist or whatever into a geneticist? And,
geneticist, yeah.
You know, how many hats are you wearing, Sunshine? And if your boss stole the Dalek for you to work on, then when it turned up for you to take, there'll be the dead body in the back of the van. So you're just as complicit as anyone.
Yeah. Where did the dead body go? Who killed him? Was it the government?
Who were the two people at the beginning? Why were they so important?
Yeah.
Don't know.
No idea.
We don't want to explain those things, which could be interesting and lead to interesting plot points.
You know, it belongs on HBO Max with Wonder Woman because it has a very similar, lots of dunnos. As in Gary, best double act since Morcam and am I saying this right? Morcam and Wise.
Yeah.
LOL. That's Ian.
That's very high praise because Morecambe and Wise were fucking hilarious.
Thank you, Ian, from Rebecca Gold. Please watch Rebecca Gold. It's what was that?
In your smile, bring me sunshine.
Rebecca Gold's a web series on this platform right here, and it's done by Ian. Go check it out. He's a good guy.
Check it out.
$5. She wouldn't kill a spider who was suffocating to death, but she had no problem burning a single Dalek to death. Yep.
Oh, or letting a white male blow himself up and kill the Time Lords and the Master for her as she ran away like a coward. Into her fake TARDIS.
Yep.
Which she murdered in the next episode.
Right. Alpha Omega Records for £10. As we know, the first Time Lord was a child murdering white woman. Mm-hmm. The first High Council was her surrounded by black men. Therefore, white men are Gallifrey's oppressed. Clever chibs, says Alpha Omega Records for £10. That's funny. That is a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Well, it looked like Rassilon, the Doctor, and Tech-Tayun were all black, were they?
Yep.
Tech-Tayun was a black man, and so was the Doctor. So both the Doctor and Tecteun were black men. And I think Rassilon was white, actually.
Yep. Once the Picard review was eventually released, because it's a very different type of review that I've done before. And if it works, I'm going to do it with everything. Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Season 2, Doctor Who 11, Series 12, with movies, older TV shows. I'm going to do it that way with everything. So we'll see how it turns out. But that's things I would like to go over, because they're, when we do a review on a season and it's like 10 minutes, I mean, we can only get to so much, especially with something Doctor Who and Star Trek arguably have the dumbest shit and the most dumbest shit crammed into an hour in television history, maybe. It's fucking pretty bad.
Doctor Who usually has nothing.
Yep.
Like nothing of any substance. And Star Trek does have the dumbest of dumb shits, because the people who write it are dumb.
Yep. And
that's crammed into, I don't even want to talk about it. I want to puke.
Just puke instead. Midnight's Ed, Tom says for $5, fake news going around about Ben Affleck not returning. The same interview they are citing for fake news says flat out he's returning. Just a heads up. Thank you, Tom. Ben Affleck is coming back. He's coming back.
He's already filmed.
He's already filmed. He's been back, and he's going to be back. And we might get a fucking Batman TV series with Affleck. Fucking take my money.
Yeah.
Take my motherfucking money.
Yeah.
Now, I thought Tom was talking about this news because, Tom, I was cautious about this news at first because I've already reported on it 9 months ago. But it's only a matter of time now. Jodie's leaving, folks. She's leaving. Now, if they do something like, don't be surprised if it's not this season, they give her a few specials or something to send her out to buy themselves a year. Just saying. That's a possibility. It's always a possibility. Or she could be out now. CM Shazam for $4.99. Sup, bras? Are there any Brits that could put political pressure on the total mismanagement of the BBC? How about a Lord?
Well, the Conservatives are. They're doing it all the time. Boris Johnson's putting it on big time.
Yeah. Is there any Lords who are Whovians in the UK?
They just turn up at the House of Lords to. Do you know what? We take the piss out of the House of Lords just being a bunch of literally like on your deathbed old fogies, right? But the House of Lords is one of the sanest places in terms of vetoing stupid laws that the government tried to pass. So there's a lot of stupid stuff which goes through the Parliament. And then when it gets to the House of Lords, they're just like, fuck off. Fuck off. So, behind that fragile exterior of a lot of them.
Now, Lords politicians, or is this like family, like from feudalism?
House of Commons and the House of Lords. The House of Commons is the politicians. The House of Lords is the Lords.
The House of Commons. I love that.
Commons. Lords. The House of Commons is where your MPs are, your and your Prime Minister and your opposition party and the Speaker and such. And then Lords is where all the old giffers who have been given titles go, and they just go harumph, no, to everything, which is often the best thing to do.
That's interesting. Most of my DNA comes from that island right there.
Mm-hmm.
Found that out when I did the 23andMe because I'm adopted. So I was always under the impression, because I didn't know that I was like of German descent, because my adopted parents were German. I got blue eyes, so whatever. And I'm still not.
You're part of the Aryan race.
Yeah, I was like, all right, no.
Was that all right or alt right?
Alt right.
All right.
I am. Maybe that's why I have this weird obsession with that country, because like that's where I am from. My original The last name I was born with was Knight.
Okay, your birth name, your birth surname.
Birth surname is Knight.
Okay, that's very British, actually.
Very.
KN?
Yes, KN.
Nice.
Yep.
Do you know surnames usually depicted what your ancestors were? Like, that's why Smith is such a common surname, because there were blacksmiths and other Smiths and this Smith and that Smith. And so you were called Smiths. And so because there were so many of those trades, that's why Smith became such a common surname. So there's a possibility that your knight could have been somebody that dealt with stuff at in the dark.
Right?
Lighting lamps.
One of my ancestors was impaled on some spike in the 1500s. Awesome. That's like, yeah. Welcome to Gary as Heave Ho Show. Best ever. Thanks, McGregor, for $5. Yeah, we had a huge freaking crowd tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the mods for being good mods, the Nerdrotics. As is correct, the diversity and inclusion program at the BBC is nowhere near finished. Despite minorities being overrepresented relative to the population, Alpha Omega Records for 10 pounds. Yes, indeed. And what happens when you get to the 0.5%? Do you get somebody who's half black and half white? I mean,
I think the BBC, I mean, they have something ridiculous like 9% of people have to be disabled at the BBC now. So it's like I'll have to get the actual document, because the document does break it down.
It does. Somebody sent it to me. Oh,
and then since that document, they have announced that they want to go further.
Of course they do. Oh shit! I ran late today. Sorry. We're almost done here. Modalicious for $2. Wait. There was a special? Yes, there was a special. Modalicious. I was too busy watching Yellowstone to care. Modalicious says for $2. That Mrs. Nerdrotic likes that. Douglas Nelson for $2. Ricky Gervais as the doctor. Yes, she's got my vote. By the way, hello, Mrs. Nerdrotic, who is listening while she's driving back to San Francisco to go do some speakeasy hair with Nerdrotic the Tall, and they're watching. So love you guys. Drive safe. Say hi.
Hi.
Richter Scale Studios for $20. Throw some money at Jodie to shoot a scene where she is killed off. The next scene, the new doctor snaps off a petite mal seizure, and he gets his wits back. He says that was strange. Hard reset, Newhart 1990 style. I love it.
Well, I would really like if the doctor regenerated into a male, back into a male. I'd love it if they just went, back to normal.
Yeah. Well, again, we've talked about it. There was no setup, there was no tell or anything to make it think. We knew that Capaldi was given that's what was weird. He was just given a new set of regenerations, but Capaldi made it sound like, man, this is exhausting. Like, you're not supposed to have a new set of regenerations. Like, you're going beyond whatever any other Time Lord had. And that's why I interpret it. Maybe people interpreted different at the end of Twice Upon a Time.
No, he'd overlived. He'd overlived his life. And so it was time to bring it to an end. He's gone through his cycle. He's gone through an extra life. He's lived more than a Time Lord should. And maybe it was time to
any of this. Like, you never hear about this shit ever. It is so disconnected. Do you remember, or you might not remember, it's on the special features for the Doctor Who Series 5 Blu-ray. And they were doing some behind the scenes, and when they were shooting Matt Smith's Doctor, the clipboards, the little said season 1.
Yes, because it was Moffat's season 1.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, are they going to reboot it? But it was just Moffat's season 1. Gotcha.
Season 1. Yeah. Yes, because that's when Moffat had taken full control. So it was his season 1. Yeah. You got the Doctor Who confidentials.
Yep. Oh my God, I don't miss them now, but I miss those. Those were so good.
Great. They were so much fun to watch. I'm gonna get myself.
Yeah, no, David Tennant with the little hand video camera. Remember walking through the set in one of those? It was great. No, I'm definitely gonna watch Deep Breath tonight. Maybe a little Top Gear and some Cobra Kai.
I'm gonna watch Deep Breath. It's so good. Some Cobra Kai.
There you go. I'm going to get some food after this, though. Mark C for $5. Ben Shapiro is making the Daily Wire film and television production and distribution company, finally a non-SJW producer. Does he have the money? Does he know how much that actually? That's great. That's great. But what is he going to make? I'm interested. Gavin Death. We'll just say Gavin Death for $5 Australian. Joe Martin could have been a good, but is tarnished by the retcon rubbish. Also, Joanna Lumley is the best and original female doctor, 5-ish doctors in canon. I agree. Joanna Lumley is the only one I will totally be down with.
Joanna Lovely, as I like to refer.
And that was written by Stephen Moffat.
Yes.
Mark C,
very funny.
Very funny. The great Mark C. Oh, it just jumped on me at the end. I don't need it jumping on me at the end. Please don't do that.
Joe Martin is horrible. I thought Joe Martin was bland as fucking dishwater myself.
Yeah, she was acting next to Jodie, so she looked great, right? But and
I like the way that she turned up in the season finale to go, fuck it, don't think. Don't think. Just we're gonna fuck everything up.
What did you think of the idea of David Tennant's wife playing the next Doctor, in which they incorporate her old character? Says George Andrew for $5 Australian. Now, I let her be the Doctor's daughter. Let her be her own character. The Doctor's a male. Just make the Doctor a male. Make a new female character, and then put some time and effort into that female character to give us another show. But I mean, like, this is, if it was 2015, this ship has sailed. They fucked their whole franchise, and Chris Chibnall did it. And we have been telling him this for years, and now it's actually happening. The consequences have arrived. They'll never make it better. The people who remember the better days are getting older. They did not cycle in any new fans with this shit. All those little tumble arenas who like to drink fanboy tears were gone the minute Jodie showed up in the first 5 minutes. They're like, oh, I don't have time for this show.
They could have made a brilliant master show with Michelle Gomez.
Yep.
That could have been something completely
that because there's two versions of the master out there right now. And she's one of them. There's a male master and a female master. And you could have her kind of like trying to, kind of like what they're doing with the Loki series, which is going to be the best Doctor Who probably. Mark C for $5. Always thought the brother from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, John Hannah, would make a good Doctor. He'd be all right. He'd be okay. Jody Bowie for $5. She makes me embarrassed to have the same name as her. She's poor. She's a poor example of anything that is female empowerment, if that's what they wanted. Exactly. All right. We got 6 more minutes. I got to go. I promised to ask 2 hours. We went way too fucking long. I owe you, buddy. So guess I'm on the BBC as long as you want tomorrow. Mute Gamer for $5. Don't know if it's racism or something unintentional, but why did Lucasfilm give the Asian Jedi lightsaber katanas in the High Republic? Because they're racist. I'll just say it.
Cultural appropriation.
Love to our glorious Nerdrotics. Oh, major love to them, Project 17. Thank you for the £2. George Andery for $5 Australian. What did you think of the idea? Oh, I read that one. Polaris Sucks for 2 Canadian pesos. Started Doctor Who episode called Rose. Great start. Great episode. Oh, good. So good.
I love, my favorite part of the episode is where Billy Piper runs into the TARDIS, runs out the TARDIS.
Yep.
Runs around the TARDIS and then runs back into the TARDIS. And then Eccleston just sorts his shit out and then turns around and is like, you got some questions.
Yep.
And then she's like, it's bigger on the inside. Mm-hmm. It's alien. Mm-hmm. You're alien. Mm-hmm. And then she bursts out crying. And it's such a human moment. And he's like, that's fine. That's fine. It's a normal reaction. And I just thought, they've nailed this show. They fucking nailed this show already. And I just thought that is a brilliant way to make the Doctor alien when he's looks so human. Is just by the tech. She showed the tech off, and then he's just gone, I'm alien. Doesn't need to explain anything else more. Doesn't need to go, I've got two hearts, you know. Just that moment and her outburst at Scary, the unknown, was so human. I thought it's so great.
Perfect episode. It starts out with a brief montage, and by the end of that montage, you know Rose. Rose is a shop girl, is a British shop girl from the mid-aughts. And it's so cool because I first started visiting the UK right at that time. My first trip was in 2002, went back. And so the British shop girl was kind of a thing. I mean, it's been a thing for a while, but that year, it was great. So you knew who she was immediately, kind of stuck in life, didn't want to go anywhere. And then throughout that entire episode in real time, we're following them through this adventure. And while we're following them, yeah, you know, you've got your villain and everything, but the doctor right outside her estate, the council estate or whatever, her apartment, they have that walk where he just, you know, she kind of, they must have been students, and then she talks, and you know, he's figuring out that she's kind of smart, and then he like holds her hand and tells her that I can feel the earth turning. You know, this is the kind of that shit was, and then he walks towards and he's all, go home.
Scene is like
good.
Peak, and that's like Goodfellas shit right there, you know? Fuck, it was, yeah. I can feel the turn of the earth, and he's holding her hand, and just like for a split second, you almost felt as if Rose was going to feel it, and he's like, well, see you later.
Such a scene, man. I get chills thinking about it.
That was a great episode.
Great writing. So when Matt Smith was the doctor, I was hanging out with lesbians. Don't ask me why. No, Adam, I'm asking, buddy. Why? We were talking about the doctor. One of them asked everyone, what about a female doctor? Everyone else said if she really was a different character, if she was a different character, not a doctor. Exactly. It's a cheap fucking move because they didn't think a female character, they didn't want to put the time and effort into building up a female character. They wanted to take something away because they thought it made up for something. Like, hey, the female doctor makes up for, you know, all the suffrage of women. Do you feel vindicated, women? Do you? Did you really feel better that the doctor was female and now little girls can cosplay as doctors? And I haven't seen that yet, by the way. I saw more women cosplaying as Capaldi's doctor. They did a better job of it too. Anthony Arribas for $9.99. It's patronizing and condescending, and it's been pissing me off for a while now with this whole incel inclusive and diversive. It's fake. It's just cringe at this point. And it has to stop, says Anthony. Yeah. And dude,
it's phony and it's regressive and it's setting us back. It's not pushing us forward.
Did you see the reports that Batfleck is out, Keaton is in, and he's trading Batgirl? Yeah, Grey Ghost. Tom said that was fake news for $4.99. Tom said that was fake news. Did not see
Batman Beyond movie with Keaton though.
Yep. Almost done with your scarf. And when Doctor Who was good, Trenna sound is pronounced like Trend Guthridge. I've got to pay you. I keep forgetting. I got to pay you for that scarf. I can't wait to get it. A Tom Baker scarf. They have transcripts. Pretty sure it is Tim Lim, says Swinging Cod for $5. Oh God. That is that Comicsgate lore? Nathaniel Larson for $5. Well, time to focus on better British TV shows like The IT Crowd, Taskmaster, and older Top Gear. Hell yeah, and older Doctor Who. Matthew P.E. Forrest for £5. Bring back Paul McGann as the Doctor with good writers to fix this broken lineage. That would bring fans back en masse. It would. I make a fucking Paul McGann was such a great Doctor. I never realized,
Didn't get a chance. His little short to have a regeneration was brilliant.
Yeah.
And made me crave for more. I think he's just turned 60. He looks fantastic still. I'd love a 6-part miniseries. Something like that to give him a bite. The BBC could do these things, but they won't. Remember, because it's about dismantling the white patriarchal supremacist bollocksy, twat face. All
Bullshit.
The executives at the top of the BBC are white.
Yep.
Just go fuck yourself.
You've got a place here if you need to evacuate from Captain Spire for $2.
Lockdown.
Welcome to the Protomolecule, Azusa Street, a Protomolecule level. Thanks. Akalan, thank you for joining the Protomolecule level. What was that?
I was going to say, did you see the Red Letter Media Wonder Woman review?
I did, where they announced with all the fucking streamers at the beginning.
Yeah, that was funny, but it's sloppy review. They clearly weren't paying much attention to the film. Which is fine, but just say I wasn't paying the attention. But they were getting
shit at the end, but it's you know what else? What I really want to say, I got to say off air. I would love to say it here, but that could get run around, and I mean it's kind of how I feel. But
it's funny. It's so sad that I can't talk normally. Can't just say what we want to say.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Yeah. I mean, I loved in the beginning when they rattled off. I mean, they've done it before, but they rattled off all the streaming services. God, it goes on forever.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
It was brilliant. Welcome to the Jaloja level, Oliver McLaughlin. I appreciate you. TK not a post for $20. Hail Gary and Az. Never been a big Doctor Who fan, but your commentary is entertaining and insightful enough to tune in. Good stream, fellas. That's awesome to hear. Thanks, TK not a post.
Thank you.
And we got one more, and then I'm gonna put these in my square up that I'm recording right now. So yeah, because I gotta go eat. Sorry guys, and I promised Az 2 hours. Benjamin Flensborg, thank you for the 200 Danish krona again. Yeah, so if you want to look for any square up or any live stream, they go to Nerdrotic Live. I do not leave any of these behind. I give them the time they are deserved, so I don't rush through them, but I do need to go and eat right now. Thank you for joining us. I did not expect this many people here today. That was fucking amazing. We had over 6,000 people watching.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Love you guys. Az, please plug your channel.
Heel versus Babyface on YouTube. I'm shout at clouds.
You do.
Shout at clouds, but yeah, I do. I've been doing some Doctor Who. I think the last 3 videos are Doctor Who related. Everyone's kind of today's video is a fake Doctor Who video. It's a Cobra Kai video.
I love it. I love that. So thank you. And thanks for watching all of our videos. I appreciate it. Thanks.
You're over on my channel tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, I'll be streaming again with Robert Mayer Burnett as we do some more What Toys.
I'm gonna have to come in, buzz in on one of those couple.
Oh hell yeah! More than welcome.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm on his channel over that way. It's so weird pointing to you over there because that's where my bathroom is.
Well, you're heading towards my door, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, bagging, boarding, and chatting. We'll be discussing comic books and Star Trek and all kinds of fun stuff. Wednesday, Nerdrotic Nooner. Friday Night Tights with, can I say it? Lady Greymaster, tell me, can I say it? Can I say it? It's a Gundam. Boom.
It's the Gundam's back.
back. So I will see you guys later. Love you guys. And again, sorry I didn't get all the super chats. I will get to them in the square up. Please go over and look for the square up in the next couple of days on Nerdrotic Live. You are all the best. Thank you to the Modrotics. And thank you everyone who spent your valuable time watching this show. Sorry, is Jodie gone or not? It doesn't really matter. It's hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Bye-bye. It's going to be a long goodbye now.